YouTube, it's Brian Phillips. We got the OMP Challenger. This thing is awesome. This is our third video trying to get this in. The flights have been great, but the wind has been terrible. So we're trying something different for this audio today. And without further ado, we are going to put the videos at the end so you can enjoy them at your own leisure. But just to warn you, the audio is terrible. Be careful with your volume. Kickoff flaps. About 40% throttle. Look at that beautiful takeoff. Look at this, we're about 30% throttle. Takeoff flaps deployed, flap rounds of course. AS3X in this AR631, full throttle. Well, that's not what I was expecting. Just kidding. I knew what to expect. We've thrown it already. This plane is freaky fantastic. Look at that. I hope you got all that, camera crew.
Freaky fantastic. It's better than Nutty Nut Job or whatever you
Nutty
called it
Nut
earlier.
Job? And safe. That is so cool. Safe, safe. Rudder. A little bit of throttle. Limited bank angle there. So cool, guys. So cool. Okay, we're in safe currently. I'm just going to show you a safe landing. Chop the throttle. Take off flaps. A little bit more throttle. A little bit more throttle. Out of the throttle. There you go. That's safe, guys. Okay, out of safe. And that's what we call unlimited vertical. High-speed stall at the end of that maneuver. Boy, this thing is just capable. Let's go into the bowl. Lighting should be pretty good. Take off flaps there. Folks, this plane is amazing. Balsa wood built up. It's a plug-and-fly configuration of basically what would be an ARF by OMP. Very powerful motor. This is on 3S, folks. 3S. Look how insane it is on 3S. It's just crazy. Well, decided I'm going to do it inside out. We'll just keep doing that. I lost interest. And the flap rounds worked really nice for us. Here, let's do some hammerhead if we can do that for the people. Beautiful. I'm no 3D pilot, folks. I hardly know what 3D means. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, so cool. Take off flaps just to slow her down a lot. Guys, this AR631 is just flawless. Except for the one flaw, which is we don't have telemetry on the pack voltage, which I think is almost unforgivable, and yet it is amazing. Look at this thing. AR631, AR637T would give you the full telemetry. Full speed pass here. And janking it. Esteban would love flying this plane, speaking of janking it.
Sorry, Esteban.
he would. He would, because this is the way Esteban likes to fly. He's like, oh, Brian, this is very good. This is very good. This is kind of Esteban style. He banks it super, super hard, and it's like full throttle the whole time, which I know some of you guys like to do that, and that's fun once in a while. But I want to see what the plane will do with like different throttle positions too. You ready? Behind me? Yes. So what are your thoughts on this plane now that we have filmed it in high wind twice today and gotten crappy footage twice today because of crappy wind?
Crappy audio is the problem. The footage was good.
And the funny thing is, it flew really good in the wind.
I'm just super impressed. I don't really know what else to say.
I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, it's a great plane.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, this is our 5-minute timer. We're getting about 9 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. Like, tonight we're flying it so much less hard because of the simple fact that it's not near as windy. But just look at this, guys.
Like, I just don't even know what to complain about, hardly.
Except it's hard to film, probably.
Well, that's just you. It's not the plane's fault. Actually, it's infinitely easier to film without that stupid thing on here.
You're saying you don't like round, furry things?
Not right in my face.
Well, I mean, well, right? Watching out for the bug zapper. So, folks, I also have the AR631 turned down just a little bit for the stabilization. I can turn it up a bunch until I see oscillation, and it would be just even more rock solid. I forgot I had it turned most of the way down. It's about 25% right now. Or it was at 25% now. Now it's at probably like 80%, 90%, 100%. Let's see what it does. Full speed. A little teeny bit of hint of oscillation, but that's it. The forward programming that you get on these receivers is just phenomenal. Full landing flaps, a little bit of throttle to keep it moving. You gotta give it a little bit of throttle if you're gonna run full length flaps like this. Look how slow it is. That is awesome. To be honest, the takeoff flaps seem to do a little bit better on this, because you get more of the differentiation between the left and the right side. Guys, we haven't filmed without a mic for a long time, so we're really hoping this audio quality is good enough to satisfy. Our shotgun mic was just not cutting it today because the wind was insane. I love the way this thing flies.
Mm-hmm.
Look down around, are you good?
Mm-hmm. Too zoomed.
Huh?
Too zoomed.
Oh, you missed it?
Yeah.
Sorry. Going behind. Good?
Yep.
I'm behind you. You hear that noise?
Mm-hmm.
It's a funny noise. Boy, that sunset is pretty, isn't it?
It is.
When the sun sets, it's going to be a beautiful sky.
Mm-hmm.
Just look at all those beautiful clouds. Guys, this plane just leaves so much to not be desired. It's just like, it just does everything you want it to, and it does it good. It's like, I don't know, I totally underestimated this plane so badly when I first saw it. It's not an especially expensive plane, given that it's got all high quality components. Carbon fiber control horns, stainless steel, it looks like, ball joints with 1.5mm hex drives. I mean, they just used all the best stuff. The motor is huge, the motor is powerful. All the servos are like 17-gram digital servos, metal gear. I mean, just everything about it is perfect. The only thing that's not maybe my favorite part is the fact that it's not a scale plane, but like every plane is not a scale plane. So that's just the way it is, Brian. So like I said, notwithstanding some preference issues, this thing is an amazing plane. It flies great, it looks great, It's not overly expensive. It's easy to equip. You got a 2200 3S running this platform, and look at the performance you're getting out of it. And here it is. I am 4 minutes and 55 right now past our 5. So we're pretty much out of juice, I would say. Oh, do you see the sun? Oh, that's so cool. It's just cresting. We gotta fly for the sunset. We gotta. That is so pretty. By the way, these smart Gen 2 packs have been glorious. They have been so good. Whoa, I crashed it! Let's go check the damage.
Okay.
They've been so good, and yet, even with amazing performance, I still managed to crash them. This plane's gonna be totally fine though.
Yeah.
I can already tell. This plane is just amazing, folks. It is simply amazing just how good it is.
But I think that's the key. It's simple.
It's simple. It does
It's
everything
just
it does
good.
really well. There you go. Look at that beauty. Giving you guys a different vantage point here. Isn't it just amazing how big of a difference it makes, just like changing where you're standing in the yard?
Yeah.
On how the camera picks up the different lighting. And that's the thing you guys don't probably always realize is just, you know, like listening to the pitch of the motor. Like, I'm halfway back now. That's like halfway through our yard, but except it's only more like it's only more like a third. Because the front third is what we film in. And if I'm being nice to the battery, I could probably get 12, 13, 14 minutes out of it, no problem. And then I'll just have to back off of it. You can tell when a battery is giving you trouble. I am, by the way, 7 minutes 30 past 5. So that's 12 minutes 30 on a total flight time. And I'm out of the throttle. I'm just tractoring the prop right now. I'm at 0% throttle. And there's your climb out still on 3S. Amazing. Tripped over some air molecules there. Dang it, did it again. Did it again. That's just incredible stuff right there. My camera crew probably thinks I'm like in full control when I do things like that. The dirty little secret is let's do a relatively high-speed pass here. Trying to be conservative with power. Because like these smart packs do self-balance, and when they go, they don't sag. They go.
Yeah.
Like right now, you know. I got full landing flaps, takeoff flaps here. That got me all concerned.
Mm-hmm.
The landing flaps there. Let's land it on a short strip. Oh, I was hoping to get it down there. Okay, so we are now 9 minutes and 2, 3 past our 5. Let's pause and go get the plane. Okay, the camera crew has very reluctantly informed me not to fly.
Mm-hmm. Not reluctantly.
So I'm at 30% throttle. There's 40. You guys want to know how to tell if a battery's dead? First of all, you want to look for the pieces in the yard.
I was gonna say.
So what I'm saying is, when you have a pack, if you can do conservative flight, then you can go for a long time on a battery that's shit otherwise. Yep, it's dead.
have to walk all the way down there.
Hey, listen, it's 10 minutes and 30, but I know that there was at least 30 seconds or so on the ground when we inadvertently made a landing on the grass.
You're beeping.
I know, it's beeping because it's dead. That's probably the low voltage warning going off. So all I can say is 15-minute flight time, beautiful calm, beautiful sunset, OMP Hobbies Challenger, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just don't think Challenger, think awesome Challenger.
Mm-hmm.
Because this thing, I mean, it might blow up your world, but it's, you know, it's good. It's really, really good. And if you guys haven't had a balsa built up plane before, is it good a first plane? If you do a first plane setup on this, make sure you're running your rates really high. Let's show you what we did. Final setup for flaps, -35, -70, 7% and 13% correction. Dual rates in Expo is a little bit different on this plane. Okay, so I ran my ailerons at 80 and 20, 80 and 20, 80 and 20, all the way through the range. And then on the top setting, I have 0, 0, 0 for like crazy stuff. And then my bottom setting was too much, 65, 60, 60. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually gonna go in here right now and I'm gonna change those to like 70, 70. I just found this to be way too much. Like I actually lost a little bit too much on them. Okay. And I was fine in this setting. This setting was just like for 3D stuff. Sorry about the way that the audio came out today. We try really hard. My camera crew tries really hard not to cover the mic input, which she is probably right now with that. So we've been using the shotgun mic, and I'm almost certain we're clipping because the wind was so strong. So we are going to put that stuff for you to watch if you want to see it. It looks a lot like this flight, except it's less beautiful from the sunset. But we want you to see it full disclosure. You can see the maiden flight, you can see the second flight, but the audio is terrible. So I hope you'll watch it and just mute your speakers or whatever it is you need to do. We do have the Unbox, build, and radio setup, and we do set up safe on this AR631. By the way, any of the planes that we've set up with the AR631 or the AR637T can be set up for safe. And it's really not even that hard. I mean, it's like 2 extra steps, and we made some mistakes on our setup today, which took us, you know, an extra 5 minutes. But if it weren't for those mistakes, it would have been like, what, like 30 seconds?
Yeah, it would have been what you
It takes the receiver longer to load the menus because of the forward programming than it does to actually do the setup.
Yeah.
So, very happy with this plane, guys.
Super happy. Very cool.
Yeah, this is like the opposite of a Dynam.
Yeah.
So, and this comes from Big Go Hobbies. So, get out there and order some, because this thing is sweet. It's very good. And by the way, we get a lot of good planes, guys. So it's not like I just am blowing smoke. This thing is really good.
Yep.
I like it. If you're even remotely into it, just buy it. It's going to be less than 300 bucks with a couple batteries on the shelf, and I'm talking smart packs. And if you buy the Spectrum receiver, you're going to be just under 300 bucks. That's pretty good. I mean, you got to already have a transmitter. I'm assuming you do. So, really good plane. Definitely stick around. If you haven't already, give us a like, guys. It helps YouTube to reward us as creators. If you aren't subscribed, please do it. Click the bell for notifications if you want to know when new footage comes out. Doesn't mean you have to watch it. It just means that you're going to get a notification, and then you'll know when we post. And you guys already know when we post. It's not like we post at 3 a.m. and wake you up in bed. Unless, of course, you're in a different time zone, and it is 3 a.m. at 10 a.m. Central Time, wherever that is. So, at this point, we're posting pretty much almost always at 10 a.m. We try to post so that people are at work and they can get settled into their desk and then just sit and watch videos all day. Because that's really what we want, is for everybody that's supposed to be working to watch YouTube videos. So we hope that you'll enjoy them at work, and say hi to your boss and make sure he clicks the subscribe and the notification. So then your boss will be watching while you're also simultaneously watching, and then everybody will get away with it because they'll all be super busy at the same time. But you got to start it right when they release. Otherwise, your boss will be watching at a different time. You could get caught. So just click in the little gear down here, or here, whichever side. It's this side, I think.
I think it's that side.
Click the gear and then go to like 1.25 times, and you'll be done way before him, and you go and catch him in the act. This is a lot of fun I put into
Full
this.
of helpful tips today.
Yes, that's right. But in the meantime, maybe just watch this today, whenever it's being published. And don't forget to click on the link below. When you go to buy it, you'll help us to build clout with the companies we work with, and they will know that you're buying it because we recommended that you buy it. So, without further ado, stay tuned. All right, guys, so we just came in from the sunset flight. I just want to show you how dead this is. Oh, jeez, that's really dead.
Wait, hold on. Oh.
Yeah, I done ran it down. So that being said, we wanted to show you just how long it took to bring this pack down, and I want to show you how not damaged it is. Okay. So there's a very nice strap in here. Mm-hmm. All the way to the firewall. That's what I was doing. There's a firewall here. Yeah, you can get this with a gasser, I believe, too. They have electric and gas setup.
Yeah, it looked like it.
Look, just totally.
Is it even warm?
Totally flat. Yeah, it's warm, but it's not hot.
Barely.
Not like a plane that we flew the other day.
Yeah.
That thing was like hot.
Yeah.
Hot. Okay, so let's see if it starts. Normally you want to let it. Oh yeah, it's gonna start. Initiating smart charging. Come on, you can do it. Oh, looky, looky, looky. And then I can press down. Yep, yeah, it's charging. It's gonna bring up that cell first, because that one's the most critical. That's pretty cool, guys. I am really floored by how good these smart packs have been. And I know we already did our end closing, but I wanted to show you that because I figured you'd want to know what we actually used on that pack. And that was a whole lot of flight time. It was like 20 minutes, right?
Maybe a little bit shy. Yeah.
Like 13 minutes plus 5. So like 18 minutes.
Yeah, something like that.
So I would say you could conservatively do a 10-minute flight timer, no problem. If you have a smart pack, Gen 2, you'll be well within the range of normal use. And you don't even have to destroy your own plane learning. Just come back to Brian Phillips RC. YouTube, it's Brian Phillips. We have a box. We're gonna open it right now. Something new and exciting. Guys, we have so much coming in the next 2 weeks because your wonderful camera crew is super excited that your wonderful host is off work for a couple of weeks.
Super.
Super. Mm-hmm. Ooh. 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 Wow. What is it?
Oh, there's a picture now.
Wow, that's like, holy crap, look at the way they package this. There's like plywood in here.
Oh my goodness.
Man, we could sell that on the black market.
That's why the box was so heavy.
No kidding. Goodness gracious.
Jeez.
That's nutty.
Oh, good.
Well, we're
we can
gonna have to
save that.
We can use that for some other project.
I'm sure we can. Yay.
All right, so what do we have here? This is an Hobby Challenge. Is that Challenger?
Challenge.
Oh, it's a Challenger, but it's got like a little 3D plane. Okay, so this is a plug and play. This is a balsa built up plane, but this is plug and play. Okay, so they also have an ARF. This is electric. They offer one, I guess, in gas.
Oh.
So we'll see how this goes. Okay, so it comes with a bunch of stickers made by OMP, which stands for Ohio Model Products or something like that. I don't know. You'll find out when you follow the link in the description below. Which, by the way, in case you were wondering, Into the AM is another good place to go if you're looking for t-shirts. T-shirts been working good. It's been comfy. Haven't had any problems with the necks. That was one of my big criteria for this. If you check this out, we have a coupon code below. Check the coupon code. It's in the video description below. You can get a discount for yourself. All right, cool. So without further ado, here we go. These things are packaged nicely. It's got plastic around it, and then there's foam that protects the control horns from hitting each other. Okay, so that's good. Let's go ahead and really carefully separate these two because you see how the tape goes around. I'm a little bit nervous to cut that. Okay, so here we go. Oh man, I gotta be super careful because balsa built up planes are delicate skin. If you gouge into a foamy, then you just have a little gouge. If you gouge into a balsa built up plane, then you will be not happy. This is gonna be a nice plane. Guys, these planes are really high quality. They're definitely gonna be more of a long-term plane that you're gonna have for a long time. That's not to say that you couldn't make a foamy last a long time, but these Bolta built up planes in the ARC or stick built, they are going to be some of the longer lasting planes that you have because they stand the test of time more than often. Every once in a while you'll have one that has a bad covering and you'll have to recover something, but look how nice that is. Oh. You can see, show them camera crew. Yeah, really nice job on that. It's finished on the end, which is nice. Show them the light. So you can see that the frame here, there's a strut here, that's always nice. Strut here, very nice control surfaces. Ball link and carbon fiber, beautiful. Look at that. Ball link and carbon fiber, metallic ball link. Wow, that's super nice. Size comparison, we've got the Timber 1.5. So it looks like it's just a little bit smaller. What is this, a 1.3 meter? Is that what that is?
I don't know, look at the outside box.
We're just gonna untape it all. So OMP Hobbies, we've done some business with before. This is gonna be care of BitGo Hobby. So we will have a link to that below. If you follow the links, then the people that send us these planes to review will know that we're sending traffic their way. So when you consider buying things like this, that has an OMP Hobby DSMG 17 gram Metal Gear Servo. That's pretty high quality and digital. When you buy from the links, then you will be helping to support our channel. So we really, really do appreciate it. If you're buying it anyway, buy it from our links, and that will help us to build clout with the people that we work with, the people that are so good to us. And in turn, you can reward them for letting us give you a first look. So here you go. Okay, same thing here. Obviously, this is gonna be like the unbox, build, ready, prepare, whatever you wanna call this, because truth be told, we are going to have this thing together and then hopefully we'll be flying it today, but it is quite windy today, so we're not 100% sure how we're gonna handle that yet. I believe this is in a plug and play configuration, so we're gonna have to provide our own receiver, which we'll talk about a little bit later. I'm gonna be using Spectrum stuff. In fact, let's talk about that now. I'm torn between the 631 and the AR637T. This is gonna have the full features, so we have an extra plug that we can use for telemetry on the pack voltage, as opposed to 631 would require an avian receiver to really get that pack voltage fed back. And I don't think we're gonna be doing an avian receiver in this. We're gonna use whatever it comes with. I believe it does come with a receiver, or excuse me, not a receiver, but an ESC, electronic speed control. Okay, so let's cut this open. Looks like this is a tail section. Kind of weird that's not attached already. Okay, so it's got a CA hinge. All right, so that comes off, protected well. Really nice, solid, okay. Nice tight finish on that. If you have an iron, you can iron this if you get one that's a little bit wrinkled, okay? That'll heat up and then tighten back down. Obviously, we haven't run into that yet, but just in case you would get one and it has a problem like that. Okay, so just looks like I got the tail section here, the horizontal stabilizer and elevator. Just being really careful the way I take this out. These are high quality planes, so I want to be super gentle with it. Really high quality bags, actually. Everything is well protected from one another. Usually I make fun of the foam protecting the foam from the foam. Well, in this case, it's plastic and foam protecting the high quality finished materials from one another. Really nice finish on everything so far.
Yeah.
Even the packaging is high quality. I'm really happy with it. Look at the epoxy on that. That's real nice. See the epoxy down there on that joint? Really nice. Carbon fiber controls. Very happy with that.
I think the color scheme is going to be good for filming.
Cardboard. Okay, so we've got landing gear. We've got prop. Don't know what this is yet, but we're going to find out. There's a prop. Comes with the 12.65 Ultimate Infinite. That's YOLO? How do you say that?
I don't know.
I don't know. What is going on with this? Is that how they balance the tip? There's like a piece of decal on there. That's cool looking. Okay, so we'll see how that goes. That's for an electric prop or electric motor. Okay, so this has the landing gear in it and control rods. Okay. Looks like there's some Velcro in there, potentially for putting the receiver and or ESC maybe? Not really sure. It looks like it comes with 2 big Velcro straps. This is for the tail dragger and then something else. Don't know what that's for. A couple control rods here. Okay, so just so you guys see this, this is gonna be a flapper-on configuration because this is a full-length aileron. So full-length ailerons, flapper-ons are great. Outboard ailerons, not a big fan of flapper-ons in that case. I'd rather have an inboard flap if that's the case. So I like this, full-length flapper-on is totally fine. Carbon fiber ring joiner. Oh, it's beautiful, look at that. That's really pretty. Love the pattern on that, that's so cool. It's funny, these pieces that, and by the way, you know, I can break stuff like this, but look how thin it is. This thing weighs like nothing.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that crazy?
It's always crazy.
It weighs like the same as the prop. That is so cool. Oh, is that a carbon fiber prop? I can't tell. I think it's plastic. Probably some sort of composite, something or another. Okay, landing gear are made of metal. Foam wheels, that's totally fine. Aluminum frame, it looks like. A little bit of give to them, but they don't immediately have memory. That's nice. Wow, look at the quality on the machining there. That's super nice. Got a standoff built in. 1 bolt goes through. Impossible to bite the wheel. That's good, so you'll keep freedom of movement. I don't see any wheel pants in here, which is fine. I don't think there's wheel pants on this model. One thing I do like about these models is that, as you can see, I'm throwing away the packaging as I go. I actually don't mind the foam because we make poor man's asphalt on next to our driveway. But most of you guys probably don't like the foam because it's a real pain in the butt to get rid of it. There's just like so much of it in some of these models. We melt it. Okay, so this thing actually went through the end of our box. That's not a good thing. Not excited about that. Hope it's not damaged. I don't think it is, but we'll find out here in about 30 seconds flat. I'm just gonna rip the sack open. I know. Okay, no damage that I can see yet. Wow, that is really pretty. I like the colors a lot.
Me too.
Okay, so this has a Sunny Sky motor in it. Sunny Sky, which is the mother company for OMP, I believe. So it's an X2820, so it's 28 by 20 millimeters. 5 kV, 1100 something or another, made in China. Feels nice and sturdy. Good motor mount, 4 screws there. And of course, we've got a really easy time putting that motor together. Call it adapter. Okay, so that's a bolt-on style. Okay, so that'll just pinch the prop in there. Looks like it's gonna be real tight clearance too. Look at this. That prop is gonna be right there. Okay, cool. Really happy with it so far. Looks like the wing joiners on the wing are gonna be, there's 2 wing nuts that go on the inside. Then there's a pin in the back. And then of course the big wing joiner. So that's pretty sweet. Oh wow, what is this? Oh my goodness. Look at that.
Is that just the release?
Oh, that is awesome. Wow. The magnets? Look at this.
Cool.
Watch this. Is that the, oh, it's the wrong side of the magnet.
Oh.
I was gonna say, those magnets have gotta be strong. Or wait, those aren't magnets, they're snaps. Man, that is so, look. I can lift up the whole fuse by that. That's crazy. How do they get so much strength out of those things? Must be rare earth magnets. Okay, anyway, so we've got an XT60 in here. Nothing fantastic about that, but that'll work fine with our IC3 connections. Oh man, look at that Velcro strap. It's got a metal ring on it. Yeah, Horizon could take a note from that. Just gonna say, oh look, they have a whole nother cavity back here. They got room for junk in the trunk. Ooh, it's always nice.
That tape just makes me cringe.
I know, it makes me cringe every time, like it's gonna break or something. Yeah. Look, they taped them together so I don't have to fish them out. Same exact setup here. Oh, buddy, look at that. If you break one, you've got a second. And they do work. They do work interchangeably. That is nice, just in case. Oh, but of course the decals are different. Okay, no big deal there. I would say the fit and finish on this film is just like perfect. Oh my goodness. I've done very limited covering like this, but me and my grandpa would do these planes before he passed away, and he would always want me to like help him electrify the plane. And I can tell you that this is really, really nicely done. I mean, love it or hate it, the plane design, that is really nice wrap job on it. Super clean. Really surprising. I mean, I was always impressed with the OMP Hobby planes that we had, but there was always like some minor detail.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see how this one does. I think the details that we were concerned about were not ever the quality level. They always had like the best stuff, but then they had one design flaw on a couple of them, and that was the direct drive on the elevator and rudder. I just felt like they could never really tolerate the load. You know, and if they can't take the load, then what's the point? Oh, I finally found an imperfection. Look at this. Yeah. It took all of the entire unboxing to find one imperfection right here. You could take that with an iron. You might even be able to take a lighter to that and just like heat it up and just kind of get it in close proximity and then smooth that out. That's super easy. It does look like there might be just a tweak in that too. See that? It's not broken, but there's a little bit of a whoop. Okay, so we'll see how that goes. I don't think that's going to be a big problem, folks. I think the rudder is going to help to keep that square. So as you can see, it's empty now. So that's pretty good. I would say the packaging was great. It's actually a pretty small box. Now, I'm not saying that I would leave that out of the box. Or rather, I would not put that back in the box myself. But if you look at the way it's taken apart, I think you could take it all apart actually quite easily. I don't see any instructions either.
I was just gonna ask. I didn't see any.
Well, they must assume we're kind of like really, really dumb people because this is gonna be hard to do. That was a little bit facetious. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna reset, get our plane stand out, and then we'll come right back. All right, YouTube, so we're back. I was saying earlier 637 TA. I'm thinking this one's more a 631 plane. 637 TA's got the barometer in it for Vario, and I just don't know if we need that level of telemetry on this plane. We'll probably do a 631 because we can still support for programming, and we can still do flaperons and still have AS3X. We could still do safe if we want. Maybe I'll do safe on this one with flaperons just so you guys can see it works, and it's like super easy to set up. So maybe we'll talk about that, and I'll save the 637 for another plane just because we don't need the Vario. And really the Vario, if I can plug that into each video, my camera would love it. So anyway, we got some CA here. Anybody knows what I'm talking about? Sometimes you just gotta get the sticky tip out. And yep, this one here, we were just talking about how this is most definitely not a Dynam. So normally you don't put the CA on the outside, but you know what? I'm doing it myself. I'm doing it that way. I already put it in there, so everybody pay attention close to how this goes. You stick it in all the way, then you jank it to the left and to the right, and you jank it and you make sure you're flush, and then you don't mess around with it, and you're done. Okay? That's how hard that is.
Okay. I'm good so far.
So, camera crew and I are kind of like scratching our heads right now thinking, this can't be as easy as it looks like it's gonna be, except that it kind of is. So, what is our cat doing?
No,
Show them the cat. People keep asking about the cat. Oh. This is our male cat. This is the patriarch of the family of cats in our home.
Yes.
Okay, maybe he's excited about the mic.
Maybe so.
Maybe
he's just like climbing my leg.
Yeah, well, this guy is the one that you usually hear crying to go outside.
To go outside.
All the time when we're filming.
Dad,
he loves doing
brother,
that.
uncle, he fills all the roles.
He does them all simultaneously.
Yes. Very well.
Yes. So anyway, getting back to the point, camera crew, we have what looks like a tail dragger mechanism here. And so that was the only sack I didn't rip open. I know, seriously. Wow, look at this. Even they have a set screw and they have a collar here. This is just so nice. Look at this. Spins free. Yeah. Really impressed with this model so far. I mean, these are the types of things that you shouldn't be impressed with, but trust me, if you've like built any models, you'll understand you get impressed by things like this because they're neglected so frequently. We have a total of 3 screws. Man, I was really excited. I was a little nervous when I opened up that sack at first. So we have 2 screws. It looks like the landing gear are attached by 3 screws here. This is gonna be super fast. Okay, so my only question about this is, obviously this is Uh-oh, did I screwed up? Is that supposed to be in there? Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Ruh-roh. I think I can get it in still. Because I see this, and I'm just like, honestly, at this point, I'm not 100% certain exactly how this works. If that goes in there, I don't even know what this thing is. Do you have any idea, camera crew?
No.
I think it's supposed to be for the tail dragger, but I honestly don't know. And I feel kind of embarrassed to admit that. But the truth is, I don't know. It looks like I can get this in here still, if that's supposed to be plugged in here. We may have to pause and like look at the picture. Ooh, let's look at the pictures. This is where instructions kind of come in handy. Yeah, I don't see any metal there. Certainly don't see a picture of the tail dragger wheel.
I wonder if we need to...
Okay, so embarrassingly, we will pause the video and come right back when we figure this out. Oops, I did it again. You were supposed to stick this thing through that thing, and then you can feed it through into the other thing. Let's show the people what I did wrong. My assessment was not that far off earlier. You're supposed to actually be drilling a hole into this. If you want to show them from the other angle, you might actually be able to see what I'm doing here. See, that's going to be feeding through the horizontal stabilizer. And then this is going to go down there like that, and then it's going to get turned, okay? So pretty simple stuff. You can see right here, there's a little spot where this is supposed to go through. You're supposed to cut that with a knife, and then it feeds through, but I'm just going to like do it the super easy way, which is to rip a hole in it that way. And then you can see where it's coming through. I'm going to grab my 0.7 millimeter tool right here because that'll work just as good as a drill bit. And then poke this through. Man, that's some resilient stuff. Goodness gracious. That's great though. Okay, so then this is going to go through ultimately at some point here, but I'm just testing it right now to make sure it fits. Yep. Okay, so that's going to feed through there. Okay. I've got that kind of backward and upside down because it doesn't matter. Then this thing goes in like this. That's the way that lines up, I believe. And then that gives us somewhere to bite into it. Now, I'm not sure if I want to do it this way. I think I want to do it this way. Yeah. So there's 3 screws. 1 screw here, 1 screw here, and then 1 screw here. And then this thing passes through the material. It's pretty simple. Pretty simple stuff. Of course, we don't do a lot of ARFs. That didn't break yet. Thank goodness. So the camera crew is going to move to the other side again. And we are going to get this thing screwed on right now. And then I'll show you what I'm going to do since I already glued this thing on. Whoops. It's going to be fine, folks. Don't worry. Just stick around for the Brian Phillips antics. I'm going to take this thing out. Just throw things. It makes everything work better. All right, so the first things first, I line up 1 hole, kind of get it started. See how I'm just lining up the hole? This is not the way they made it look in the manual. Okay, there you go. This is, gosh, I've never had so much trouble lining up 2 holes. Oh, except for yeah, dynams. that I have.
All of them.
Just kidding. All right, guys, you see how there's 2 holes there? I'm just trying to get these right in there. You would think it'd be just like super easy, but they're just being troublesome. There you go. I got it finally. Because there's only a couple threads that are going to push through. So I'm just trying to actually get this right so that it's got a good bite on the wood below. Gosh, that doesn't seem like very much material. That was on the bottom, right? I'm pretty sure it was. I don't know. So now this one here, yeah, but you see what I'm talking about though? Like that doesn't feel like it's very sturdily mounted on there.
Because that's all that's
holding it.
On, right?
Yeah. Well, there'll be some control arms and stuff, but I mean, that's like really it then.
Yeah. Okay,
so 0.7 millimeters. This is again like the wrong tool for the job, just so you can see how to not do it. You're supposed to use a drill. That's my drill today for my pilot hole. That's why I like balsa wood. It's such an easy medium to work with. You can use the wrong tool for the job all day long and have horrible results, just like any other time using the wrong tool for the job. That's a good bite, guys.
Yeah, that's going in a lot further.
Yeah, that's holding.
Yes.
I just don't feel like that's enough. Like there. I don't feel like that's enough. You know why? Because I need to press this down. There we go. Because balsa's soft, guys. You know what I'm talking about. Like if you turn that and you turn that hard, you'll just strip the wood out. So what I've done in the past is I've always dipped CA. I dip the tip in the CA. And once you have the tip in the CA, then what you can do is that will reinforce the hole. I mean, you don't want to glue it in. You just want to reinforce the hole that it's lining. So in fact, I'm doing that. I don't want to run the risk of having it come out. So I did not over thread these. I didn't strip it. So now I should have a really easy time getting these in here.
See, that one.
That's the whiner. He wants to go outside so he can go find a friend.
He's been out like all day.
Maybe he's found a good friend. I don't know.
He needs to go find a friend to eat.
Yeah, he does need to go find a friend to eat. Okay, so just a little bit of CA will hold that in. And when I say hold that in, I mean, all I'm trying to do is just basically line the socket where the threads are, because that'll help to strengthen the wood that's now being displaced, because balsa is so soft. I mean, it's like incredibly soft. And that's the only thing is, I don't know if that's I don't think that's plywood there. It feels like it's balsa. So you gotta be a little bit careful on tail connection points on these wings. I think the main wing has tons of strength in it, but this one here just kind of makes me a little bit nervous. So here we go, just a couple of drips. Just a little bit of drips on there. I don't really want to glue the head on there. I just want to glue the threads in, okay? So I'm just working the threads. Ideally, you'd get no CA between the head of this and that carbon fiber, but like you can tell, it's way stronger already, just with that initial work. Because you're not going to get hardly any strength from the actual strut of the tail dragger. There just isn't anything there to hang on to. Okay, so I'm using my fingernail so that I can hold that on the tip of my screwdriver. I would call that like 2 drips of CA. That should be absolutely plenty. If you do too much, it's going to make a mess. You're not really going to get anything out of it. Okay. And you're probably thinking to yourself, but Brian, what if you need to take it apart? Exactly. That's the whole point of doing this. See, because look, that CA is set now. And look at this. Watch this. That's going to come out clean. Smell my tip. See, it's clean.
Yeah.
Like I said, it just soaks into the balsa. And then you basically have a lined hole. And when you have a lined hole, then this actually holds about 10 times stronger, and it takes like an extra 30 seconds of work. Look how much better that is. I mean, it's still not as good as I'd like to see it, to be honest. I'd like to see it stronger, but it is what it is. Okay, so now this thing has to be into the rudder. So now this is the part where it gets a little bit tricky. I'm not 100% certain of how this is gonna go. I gotta check one other thing before we get everything tightened up. Looks like I got that pretty square, doesn't it? We could measure. I'm just kind of ballparking it. Just making sure everything is square. It feels pretty good, actually. I'm happy with it. Okay, so now see on the top, see how there's a hole? Okay, so I'm just gonna pass this thing through. Camera crew, are you prepared to move in case I shoot through with this unexpectedly? Nobody likes an unexpected shoot through.
No.
See that, how it's coming through?
Where is it coming through?
See it? Down at the base of the elevator.
Oh, yep, okay, we can see now.
Okay. And by the way, there's not really any way to avoid this. I'm not sure that there's an easier way to avoid that. Then you can just slide this up like so. And then that gets you where you need to be. Okay, so then this is gonna be actuated by the rudder, okay? So really, at this point, the big question becomes, how do I slide that doohickey into this doohickey?
It's not usually a problem.
Well, it is if you glued in your doohickey before you stuck the other doohickey in the doohickey. I'm just saying. You want to be careful about it. The order of operations. So I'm going to pull that down. And then I'm going to push this up. Nah, you got to go around right. Sorry. So I got to push this up. like this. And then ultimately I want that probably about there actually. So that needs to be in there. Now that we know where that's gonna end up, I can basically take and then kind of transfer my mark, which is gonna be right here. Oh, look at that. There's already a hole. There's already a hole. Yeah, that's good. So now I just have to figure out how to get that doohickey into this doohickey, and that might be a little bit trickier than said than done, because I am going through this surface and it's not really designed to move here.
Right. Okay,
so that's where I should have waited to glue this, but I was trying to do the right thing and let this glue set up longer. Sorry, folks. Don't do like I do.
Right.
Watch the whole thing first. Isn't that what your teachers used to tell you?
Mm-hmm. Read
all the directions before you make the mistakes like the teacher.
Yes.
Okay, this is where it gets kind of hairy for a minute. Oh yeah. Ooh, that's kind of scary. This is the wrong way, folks. Just so you know. What's that they say about teachers, camera crew?
Teachers don't read directions.
No, that was not it. That was not what I was thinking, but that's okay. You're a teacher, so you can get away with that stuff. All right, I need to pull that over, and then I need to try something again. Okay, so I thought that there was a hole there, but maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe there isn't a hole. Let's see if this is about the right size. I'm gonna find a screwdriver that's very small. I'll be right back. Okay, so I found a little bit smaller screwdriver. I mean, you could also use a drill bit, you know, that'd be another option. So I'm just gonna try to run this in here. This is just going into the wood. There is a hole there. I'm just kind of opening it up a little bit. See, I've got plenty of depth now, okay? Now I just need to redo what I did on the last step. I'm sorry, OMP / BitGo Hobby. That was kind of a gaffe on my part there. I'm sorry to the whole RC community for my gaffe. I repent. I won't do it again until next time, I promise. Oh, it's in the hole. Yeah. Woo! Oh, it's so good. Ow! Okay. There you go. See, it's easy as that, guys. I don't know what you guys were worried about. I knew it was going to work out. Go. So, I knew it was going to work out the whole time.
That looks good. Nice.
Nice is right. Looks super nice. Mm-hmm. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm still really nervous about that black thing. I don't know if that's enough strength. We may have to put some longer screws in there because it makes me a little bit nervous because I've been known to make less than desirable landings at times. So we'll see. All right, cool. So the next step, of course, would be to maybe put the wing together. I don't know.
Sure.
Let's stick this thing in the other thing and hope for the best. Oh yeah, that is a good fit. Mm-hmm. This is so light, it's awesome. Okay, so this is a thumb nut that goes into a hidden nut here. I think it's probably some sort of a nut zert. We'll just take those both out. If you grab that nut zert, just give it a tug right before you pull this out in case it was for some reason loose, okay? Not that we've seen that or anything like that. Okay, grab this, pop it off. Is that the right one? Which one does that go to? Looks like it goes to...
I think it has to go on. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it goes here. Okay. Then we can feed this one wire through. Should be pretty obvious what's what. Oh man, that is such an easy fit. Oh my goodness, look how clean that is. Nice. Look how nice the covering is.
Yeah.
How perfect it is. That is so cool. Okay, this thumb nut's gonna be a pain to put on. I can already tell. Because I've never put one on that's not a pain in my entire RC hobby. Well, that was pretty dang easy compared to some. I've got thumb nuts I've put into planes that are way worse than that.
You need smaller thumbs.
Well, package deal. 2 of them. All right, so now the other side, we'll put this together. This is gonna be like the world's easiest build. What the heck is going on here?
I don't know. I'm really
like,
confused.
where's the catch?
What am I gonna do with the rest of my 5 hours this afternoon?
I don't know. We can do another plane.
Oh, I was thinking other things, but.
We're not gonna do that. Oh man, this one's tight. Wowzers. This is, I'm actually like really impressed with the quality on this. This is surprisingly good. It better fly good or I'm gonna be really annoyed. Because like, sometimes these planes go together super good and then they just suck in the air. I have a sneaky suspicion this thing is not gonna suck in the air.
I really like the way it looks. It's cool. It's simple, but.
I like it too. I'm excited. Plus, balsa planes fly really light on their feet. And they go forever.
It's
forever.
It's been a long time since we've done a balsa plane. Like, reminds me of your grandpa.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Although this one's nicer than the one I built. Sorry, Grandpa, for this thing. No, he loved building them. We had a good time building planes like that together. He loved building them. I liked helping him put them together. But also I explained to him numerous times that was probably like the hardest part for me because I wasn't really that good at it. In terms of sizing electronics and things like this, I'd have to always look everything up and never really do anything offhand. It was fun. Really good that we did that when we did. Okay, so I'm just gonna put the prop on because I literally have the nut in my hand right now. Okay, so there's a nut here, then there's the spinner. And to be honest, I'm not sure if I need both. I honestly do not know. I would like to not have the nut as well because it's gonna look ugly.
It is? Really?
I'd much rather have just the spinner straight down. I think it'll look a lot nicer. But it doesn't reach. Therefore, we have to nut it. Plus the double nut is really kind of what they're after, I think, here. Because then you can torque this down tight and then you can put this spinner on the top. I guess I should probably use a tool for this. Don't you think, camera crew?
Probably. I mean, I know you're super strong, but.
Not that strong. Here we go. World's highest quality. Non-crescent wrench. Non-crescent sizable wrench. It's tool shop and guaranteed for life.
To fit.
-3 brands. Actually, this, I don't even know if this is Tool Shop.
Probably that's even Tool Shop.
This is even crappier than Tool Shop. It's the Tool Shop's reject line. It's like, you have not earned the Tool Shop branding.
That's the kitchen drawer line.
Yes, exactly. All right, let's get in there. Nope. Nope, get in there. Get in there. You know you want it. It's, oh yes, it's just a tight squeeze. Man, that's like, wow. Can't believe it fit in there. Okie dokie. Woo! Woo! It's tight. Get out of there. Get out of there. I should have looked at it. Good. All right, so we're out. There we go. All right, we have 3 screws here. 2 millimeters. Nope. 2.5 millimeters. Yes. Yes, 2.5 millimeters is good. Okay, 1, 2, 2. Who needs a drill? Fast hands like fast. Fastest hands in the West.
Don't lose your nut.
I think it goes this way. What do you think?
I don't know. Asking the wrong person.
You think it goes like this?
Yes.
Well, actually, hold on. The prop clearance might be a little bit light. Okay, it goes like this.
Okay, but wait, is there a forward and backwards?
Yeah, I mean, there's hole pattern, so it's dictated by the hole pattern.
Okay.
Yeah, these have nutzerts in them, so they're nice and sturdy. So that's where you're like hopeful that they got a lot of epoxy in there. Yeah, just wherever you want to go. It's, you know, in the other room, of course.
It's like one of those little circling the drain.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna probably take that there, camera crew. Thank you. So now, well, I was thinking about what I was gonna say and how I was gonna say it properly, but You want the toe in, not toe out. Yes. Camera crew, what do you have to say about the toe?
Nothing to say.
Nothing to say. All right, here it is. All right, guys. So there you have it. It's almost built, but not quite. Looks good. That is going to be insane. Wow, look at the clearance on the prop. That's
prop.
like crazy. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, so you want to keep that nose from being into the ground. So on landings, you're going to want to do almost like tricycle style landing. That's where the receiver's going to go. I'm sort of torn on the order of attack for the next couple steps. The reason I'm torn is because we could try to do ball joints, but it's sort of a waste of time right now. We could also hook up a servo tester to do the next step, but I think it's just about as easy to go ahead and set up a new model. So what we're going to do is we are going to break into the NX8 in the AR631. Sorry, it's something in my throat. Jeez. Must have been a Slim Jim. Oh my goodness.
Goodness gracious.
Wowzers. All right, so AR631, this is very high quality. It's got a push button. Then there's also a bind plug. I don't think it comes with a bind plug. Nope, it doesn't. There is a manual that comes with this. Normally I would suggest just going ahead and throwing that straight in the garbage, except that this is pretty handy. So we'll keep that out just in case we need it. Spectrum makes some good stuff. Check a link in the description. Whenever we link to a plug and fly plane, we assume that you're gonna put whatever you're gonna put in it. And if you buy from our links, they give us a little bit of a hand up. And so we appreciate that. If you would buy from the links, you'll be helping to support the channel. If you buy from the links for these sort of things, you'll be helping to support the channel. But mostly what you do is you build our clout with the people that sell these things. We bring them to you with no strings attached. We can crash them in front of you. We can tell you how horrible they are. But if you decide you still want to buy them when they are horrible, then you'll still be building clout with the companies that we're working with. So we appreciate you doing that. Generally, if it's total garbage, we're gonna let you know that. If this is obviously not garbage, it's very nice. We review a lot of planes. Sometimes they're not winners, but we try to kind of be as positive as we can when they're not great. But you guys know, because I don't fake it very good. Anyway, getting back to the point, to create a new model, we need to create a new model on the transmitter first. So the NX8 has been great. We've been using it. I just noticed today when I was making that on 457 comments that I had to catch up on. It rhymes. NX8's great. Okay, so power's coming on. So the first thing we have to do is we have to go ahead and make assignments for a new model. So I'm going to click here, the back and the cancel button, go to add new model. That's the type of model. You could also create a heli or a sailplane or a template or a bind and fly or whatever. I'm going to create a new acro, they call it. So create. This is all within the Spectrum Horizon Hobby brand. So there's that. So the model select would take you back to the screen we just came from. Model type, you've already selected that. Model name, this is where we go ahead and name. This is number 28 : space, and then it says acro because that's a default name. We're going to name this the OMP, probably OMP Challenger. How big is this thing anyway? Is this a 1.3?
No, it's 1250 millimeters.
1250? Is it 1250 or 1255?
12.
Are you sure it's 12? Show them right out of the EP. It says
1250, 49 inches, 1250 millimeters.
1250. All right, so 1250. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll type. First of all, you just move the cursor with the scroll bar, you click, and then you go over to the letter you want to make, and you click to accept it, and then you move. And we'll continue this and come right back when it's typed in. Okay, so we have the OMP Challenger 1250 millimeters. And why did you put the 1250 millimeters? Because I want to be able to distinguish between this and the 2.5 meter OMP Hobbies Challenger that I build in 6 months or whatever it is. Okay, so walk back. The beeping's normal, even though it's weird. Sounds like it's a glitch, but who knows what it actually is. Then aircraft type. I'm going to go ahead and scroll this to flaperons right now. You could set it up as a regular wing type and then do a mix, but it's just so much easier to do flaperons, and that's important because of the AR631 and also because of the AR637T if you decide to use that for more telemetry. There's quite a bit of telemetry that comes through still on these, but you don't get pack telemetry, which is really annoying because of all the things that I would expect to get on these things, it would be voltage up my LiPo. So anyway, a little bit of an annoying thing, but it is what it is. Okay, so next, then I'm gonna go to the picture, which is not actually a horrible picture, but let's go ahead and scroll through and see if there's something a little bit better for that. Ooh, that one might be closer, I don't know. They have all these stock pictures, and I don't know that there's like one that makes better sense than another. Most people don't mess with it, but there's lots of pictures in here, so I always like to distinguish between the planes. Which one do you think? I think that one looks kind of close, actually. That one looks closer because it's got a low tail wing. Yeah, that's pretty close. Okay, so we'll just go with that one. All right, and then channel assignments and things like that, you really can't do until later, so we'll walk back out. We got our timer. Did they suggest a timer on there? I know they suggested a 2200 3S. It didn't say a time, did it?
I didn't see anything.
Okay, so let's do throttle cut first. Inhibit, I'm gonna set it to switch H. Switch H. When I move the stick up, that's at -100. That's what I want. When I move, when I move the switch forward, then it allows it to move up and down. You can see in the monitor right there that it's moving. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Then I'm gonna go to flap system. I'll set that to switch B. Now, since these are flaperons, I don't know what direction they need to go yet. And to be honest, I'm just gonna set, I don't know which way it's gonna be. So let's just guess. Let's make a small change. And you just don't want this to be like -100, +100 yet, because you might have your servos overdriven then. Okay, and then I'm gonna do enough so that you can tell, but not enough so that it causes a problem, okay? Because like, obviously we're not gonna leave that there, but I just wanna see what direction it goes. Plus, flaperons are weird. When you have an inboard flaperon or like an inboard aileron that acts as a flaperon, sometimes it will require like a converse elevator correction. So like you're gonna wanna push, normally when you deploy flaps on a regular plane, there'll be a ballooning effect. So it'll like wanna make, the shape of the wing changes such that it wants to change the direction the plane's flying, so it goes up. Now, you can slow the plane down and you can relax it, and it will lower the stall speed of that plane because the shape of the wing changes. Okay, so the elevator correction is gonna typically go the same direction in an inboard flap with a regular aileron. But with flaperons, depending on where the aileron is and where the wash is from the prop, and a variety of other factors, the wing design, the body design, if it's a jet versus just like a fixed wing like this, it's all gonna go into it, and sometimes they go up and sometimes they go down. So you just kind of have to play with it. For now, in fact, what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna actually set the correction to nothing. I'll just set the elevator correction to nothing for now. And then that way we're safe. I'd rather have balloon because I can always slow down to cut down the balloon. Okay, so then the speed I'm gonna set to 2 seconds. Now you have to set that to each switch condition, which is goofy. Okay. So now you can see it changing. Okay, cool. So we're going back out to regular flight mode. We have throttle cut. Let's set the timer. So the timer is set to, let's be conservative and set it to 5 minutes, and we'll check it after that. 1 out timer means that once you get past 25%, in this case 25%, it's gonna start the timer. At 1 minute, I want no warning. At 20 seconds, I want no warning. At 10 seconds, I want a countdown, voice, and then expiration, I want tone and vibrate. And then every minute, I'll have a tone. So the timer starts, runs through the sequence. It's gonna go off after a minute. This tells you how long it's been on. So the transmitter's been on for 7 minutes and 50 seconds, okay? Throttle holds on, expo. Dual rates and expo. So the manual that you can't get from Ops website will tell you different rates, the different throws, the different rates, and all this stuff. I'm just gonna do my standard stuff. I'm gonna go to switch F. For the lowest setting, I'm gonna set it to like 5, then I'm gonna set it to like 10, then I'm gonna set it to 20, and I'm gonna drop the rate down to like, because this is a balsa plane, it might be more touchy, so I'm gonna put it to 75. Normally I go to like 90, okay? So I'm gonna just do the exact same thing. I have to set this to switch F first. I'm gonna set the first to 5, the second to 10. Now, part of the reason I can get away with such a low expo is because I am flying with a stabilizer. AS3X will be activated on this here eventually, okay? We'll show you how to do that too. And then the same thing for rudder. Switch F. Oops. This is where you could do your rates. You could also do rates on different switches. So you could have like, you know, one of these associated to each axis. I just find that it's too hard to get to all the different switches, okay? So I just typically time to the same switch. And plus I can do this on a variety of different controllers, so it's a little easier on me to remember where everything is. Muscle memory is very crucial when flying airplanes. So then I start in this setting. I have half as much here, and I have doubly as much with less rates as well. So if I can't get to the ground because it's not touchy enough, I go here. If I can't get to the ground because it's too touchy, I can go here and get a pretty big improvement, okay? All right, good. So that's everything is set up with the exception of centering the servos, which we have to do mechanically. Also, the timer will have to adjust on the first flight. So 5 minutes might be perfect, I doubt it. We're gonna fly this on 3S 2200 Gen 2. Let's do 30C, so it's more conventional. Okay, so 2200, 3S 30C. It's got an IC3 connector, and you're like, but Brian, that has an XT60. Don't worry, this will stick into an XT60. It's not perfect, but it works fine, and they're very secure. The pin size is correct. That's what's important. The housing is a little bit different shape. So that being said, you can also do that with an XT90 and an IC5. Okay, so the IC5 would be the big brother of the IC3. But an IC2 does not fit into an XT30. Just be aware of that. It does not fit, okay? All right, so now we have to plug things in, but we also know what channels are what, which is handy. Okay, so we have the model made. We have not bound. We obviously want to make sure that this eventually gets mounted in such a way. I'm trying to be kind of nice to this thing, but I keep running the wing into stuff. So I'm going to actually see if I can pull this over here, and then I can make it so you guys can see a little bit better. Okay, so we're just going to be real gentle. Okay, so here we go. So we have one aileron and another aileron. So if I look at the monitor, you can see what's what. Okay, so you see how the ailerons move? So the right aileron is on channel 2. So the right aileron is here. So channel 2 in this case, this says S plus and minus. So minus is brown. So channel 2 is here. That first port is the bind plug, which we're not even going to use on this application. Okay. So this one's going to be the left aileron, which is on channel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So channel 6. And you see there's no guesswork here, guys. You don't have to guess. You just plug it in where it goes. You don't have to think about it over much. Now this is going to be a little bit tricky because I don't know which one's which yet. And I do want to be a little bit careful not to rip these cables. So I'm actually going to take scissors to this. Do we have scissors out still?
I'm not concerned.
Show them what I'm concerned about. In terms of tape there.
The tape, oh yeah, right here.
Also, they gave us like tons of Velcro. Like there's literally tons of this. Like I had truckloads of this. Well, there was 2 pieces like this. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use Velcro for this. It's something my grandpa would do. Because it came with the airplane.
To mount the receiver?
Yeah, because it's a stabilizer receiver. So it's nice to have that little bit of isolation from the frame. So if I was using like a 3M tape, it would give us a similar protection. The thing that's nice about this is that I can take that out if I need to fiddle with the wires and things like this. But also it came with the plane and I'm a cheapskate.
And you're good at fiddling with things.
Well, I try. Okay, so I'm gonna probably put it this way because I feel like the antenna can go into the tail, no problem. And there's no servos right there, so we should be totally fine. In fact, there's a servo chase right there. You see that chase where all the servo wires go through? Man, they really built this plane nice. I'm actually super, super, super happy with this plane so far. It's been way nicer than I thought it was going to be. And to be honest with you, I mean, I didn't think it was going to be bad, but I didn't really think it was going to be quite to this grade.
Well, we haven't done one like this. So we don't really know what to expect.
Well, we haven't done an OMP version like this. Yeah, so that's true. Okay, so this is going to go down here, and you'll notice I'm just kind of mounting it whatever direction I want. I could mount that in a variety of different places. It does not have to be on the center of gravity. It just happens to be the center of gravity. Okay. So now these wires hopefully will reach. Oh, that's the only thing I didn't think about was, is this gonna reach? Because those things look like they're pulled pretty tight. That'd be a super bum if I have to extend this thing. Yeah, I'm just trying to be very careful the way I separate these because I could see yanking one of these leads out in a not desirable way. The way that this tape is coming off, it's like really taped nicely.
But they're not marked, are they?
No, they're not. I mean, it's not really that hard to figure out. There's like 2 of them.
Right.
We'll just move them with sticks and see what happens.
Okay.
I mean, we know what the throttle is.
Right.
The throttle's coming from the front, so that's super easy. Of course, that's going to go up to the ESC. It's also going to power the receiver through the VEC, the battery eliminator circuit, and show them on there. It's channel 1. Should be pretty obvious stuff. If you guys are flying a plane like this, you probably already know a lot of this stuff. So why are you watching? Just buy it from the link already.
But if you were gonna build a plane and you hadn't done a lot of like,
yeah,
this one's,
or if you're used to like 72 megahertz 3-channel planes from yesteryear and you're just getting back into this, there's so much to learn, and this is a channel for you. We go through the full radio setup on like every plane we do. So some people think it's tedious. Sorry, there's new people all the time. You could skip it if you want. We don't really mean to discourage people from watching, but at the same time, there's a lot of people that need help because there is a steep learning curve, and these manufacturers just assume everybody knows all this crap. And it's like, how do you know if nobody tells you?
so we'll tell you.
We'll tell you. Yep, and if they won't tell you, we will. So expect us to continue that. It's not really ever been part of our plans to not. I'm a little bit annoyed with myself right here, though. Look.
Are you gonna be too short?
I'm gonna be just, man, if you're a half an inch short, you might as well be a mile short.
I know.
Let's see if we can flip the whole thing, because I haven't programmed it yet. So
Right.
okay, so I'm just gonna see if I can reach. If I can, God, that is so annoying that it's so dang close. Come on now. So the brown is going toward the connection. So this is going to be the elevator or the rudder. I don't know which one's which. The rudder, of course, is going to be the 4th, and the elevator is the 3rd. Okay, so it doesn't really matter which one's which. I'm just going to try one versus the other. Of course, I plugged in the easiest wires first. That was dumb. Okay, so I have that plugged in, but it's not programmed yet, and obviously it's not ideal that it's like short like that. Okay, so this is another wire, and again, I don't know which one's which yet. We'll figure it out here in just mere moments. Okay, so it's plugged in. All right, everybody, and I also want to take this moment to just discuss something for a second. There are more than one way to skin a cat. Believe me, we have lots of them, cats. We haven't skinned any yet, but I'm just telling you, you don't have to necessarily do it the way I do it, but if you do it your way and you don't do it my way, then maybe don't ask me how to fix it, because like I don't know what you did. If you want to do it my way, then you'll know what's going on, and I can help you pretty much. But if you do it your way, I don't know really what to tell you. There's a lot of people that do that too. It's like, hey, I didn't get the binding fly. Can you tell me how to do this from scratch? No. Just follow this video for the other one that you were supposed to buy the binding fly. All right, so everything is plugged in here, folks. I'm thinking my Velcro pad, it might be wise to bring that back just a hair. Okay, so I'm just gonna see if I get lucky, if it pulls off there. If not, no big deal, we'll just extend it. Ooh, look at that. It's actually coming off of there reasonably well. This is one of those pockets that's just like not quite big enough to get your hand all the way in, but it's not so small that you can't service the thing. Okay, so now remember how I put this on here? Well, I guess I'm gonna pull that thing off. That's okay, I didn't need it anyway. See that? That's your like compliance label. So I'm actually gonna keep that because that has like serial numbers and stuff on it. And normally I wouldn't care, but I kind of don't want to lose it. Because then if I have problems with this or I'm trying to look up my firmware revision, I'm just gonna grab a little bit of new Velcro. Where did I lay that Velcro? Here it is.
That's the one you cut off, yeah.
Yeah, where did the scissors end up? Here they are. We're just gonna cut another chunk, and I'm gonna go a little bit larger this time, being that I'm kind of hanging over the edge now. I had that perfect spot figured out, but it just wasn't quite long enough. I'm guessing it's I don't know. One of them's long enough and one's not. Guess we'll find out at some point. All right, so I'm just gonna basically redo this so that I can have a little bit more overlap hanging over the edge here, okay? So again, this is just kind of like a personal preference thing. You could stick this on the bottom of that covering if you wanted, it'd be fine. Might get a little bit of reverberation there from the air over the prop wash. Right, camera crew? Mm-hmm. I knew you were concerned about that.
Totally what I was thinking.
Okay, so you see this? I'm way back now, cantilevered over the shelf. Not crazy about the way it's cantilevered, but at least we got plenty of room for cables to be plugged in. I may have to back that up with a piece of plywood or something. We'll see how this goes first. Just getting a tangle out of a wire that I noticed on the throttle cable. And that goes to the second plug, but it's actually channel 1. You know what else we could do that would resolve this completely? We could peel this whole dang thing off, and then we could just stick it over on the edge. That's actually totally acceptable too. See how it's over on the edge now? So now we have good backing. Yeah, that's gonna be way better. I feel like it's way more sturdy then. We'll see how it goes. All right, so now the next step is going to be, I need to feed this wire just to kind of get that in a spot where it's not gonna be in harm's way. I really would like that to go down like, I need my forceps. Why don't I have my forceps? It's because they're downstairs. Dang it. Everything is downstairs when I need it upstairs, and when I need it upstairs, it's downstairs.
That's why you have 2 of everything.
I should get more forceps.
6 or 7.
That's right. Why don't we get some more forceps?
Because we already have some.
That's true. But what if we have to do surgery?
You planning on that?
No. I mostly want you to save my life if you decide to do the amputation. All right, here we go. All right, so everything's in there. Maybe not like perfect. Yeah, we may have to do a little backing on there, but I feel like we've got enough support. It's probably okay. I could also run Velcro from one side to the other, like from the whole, you know, strip from one side to the other.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what else we have? We have 2 giant plywood pieces, but we'll have to just not build another house. We could cut it out of that. That's fine. All right, so let's get this set up. We'll deal with that later because that's super easy and it's very subjective. All right, so to do this binding process, you're going to be basically, you're going to start from transmitter off. Transmitter's off. Throttle holds on. I'm going to get my knobs to the center. I'm going to get my gear switch where I want it. All my normal switches where I want them. I want that in the middle. And then that helps speak to the failsafe that is going to be configured. I want this plane to be level, which means I might need to do a little bit of finagling to get this to sit on the counter. And I want it to sit level and true, if possible. That would be ideal. So I'm trying to reconfigure this stand. Do you know why I'm doing this?
Because the stabilizer is going to...
Because the AS3X stabilizer is going to set its home position in this next step,
right.
Okay? So, without further ado, got the covers. Actually, we'll get both covers where they need to be. Okay. So this is going to go in here. This doesn't need to be like strapped in permanently right at the moment. So I'm going to feed this down in. I'm going to drop it right there. That's really easy. Now it won't hopefully flop out and break something. All right, so are you ready? I'm not going to have to press the buttons right off because it's a virgin binding.
Okay.
Okay, so it's plugged in. You want to be super careful that that thing doesn't bite you, so secure it. Jeez, do you hear it?
It's really loud.
Powerful. Okay, so I'm going to be pressing and holding a button here, camera crew. One time. There it goes. Now I'm going to press and hold this button. Binding. DSMX 22 milliseconds. You can let go. Telemetry. Okay. Listening. Bind complete. Auto config is going through. Now it's started up. That's the rudder. That's the rudder servo. Ailerons are moving. Both of them, and that is supposed to be the rudder. So we need to flip our 2 connections. Let's test throttle hold. It's working. That's what we want. Now I'm going to shut it off and I'm going to test the throttle. Okay. Throttle hold is on and tested. That was about 30% throttle.
Sounds good.
Yep. Okay, so now I can switch elevator and rudder. Doesn't matter which one's which, I just need to switch the 2. Okay, so this one needs to come unplugged. I'm gonna untangle the cable 1 twist. This one's the other one, so it needs to come toward me by 1 connection point. This is a little bit tight in here, sorry folks. I know we're kind of blocking your view between steps, but that's better than not having a view of it at all, I suppose. We'll show you when we're done plugging these in. Okay, so just to be clear, that's the elevator. Good. And this is kind of awkward because like I have no way of supporting the bottom side of the support. You see how it's wanting to kind of twist on me a little bit. So I don't know if that's going to end up working out perfectly. It's not a big deal. It's super easy to change, but I think it's going to work okay. All right, so now our next step is to, now that we have established that the throttle holds on and we've verified it like twice, we can go ahead and put covers back on just to get everything tidied up while we work on all the control arms. The control arms are ball joints, so best to center the servos first if you can. Camera crew, can you grab those and throw them over here? And then we will finish the rest of our setup, check the CG, and then we'll basically be ready to fly. Okay, we got long ones and short ones. Looks like the shorter ones are for the ailerons. Longer ones are gonna be for the tail, for the elevator and the rudder. Super simple setup. What is going on with these things?
We have children.
So annoying. Look how horrible they cut now. We need to clean those things.
They're just yogurt.
It's disgusting. Pet peeves. Okay, so that's gonna snap on there and then that's gonna snap on there. Obviously this needs to be extended a little bit. These are really high quality, I can tell. They're heavy, they're sturdy, very strong. Very happy with that so far. You do not want to snap those on ahead of time though, that's for sure. Because if you get it wrong, that's gonna suck to undo.
Not gonna be fun.
It'd be nice if there was a flat spot on there because I'm gonna have to use a pair of pliers because it's a round shaft. Otherwise it's gonna spin. So you see what I'm talking about? I have to grab on so I can hold it tight and then I can undo one side versus the other. If you're always undoing one side and the other at the same time, it shouldn't be a big issue. Okay? But you never know. A lot of times what happens is if you do that, one will spin out and it'll come off and the other one won't spin at all. So you have to be kind of mindful about that. Okay, so that's there. Feels like I need to go out a couple more. So there's 1/2, 1/2. So that should be 1 full turn. See how we look now. Probably another 1/2. There's 1/2. So I'm just holding this on the end of the ball joint. That's pretty dang close. Now I'm gonna give this a kick so it's 1/2. 1 more for good measure. Let's see how we look now. Just holding it on there with my thumb. You can kind of position this temporarily to see if you're centered. That's the best thing to do, if you can. Because you're not going to adjust that once it's in there. Okay, that looks pretty stinking good right there, doesn't it? Oh, dang it. Those are going to be horrible to undo.
Yeah, they are.
Somebody was talking about bowling pliers today in the comments when I was going through.
Yeah.
People are so obsessed with the bowling pliers. Maybe it's because they do a lot of planes like this. If I did more, then I would get bowling pliers.
Whatever, they're on like everything.
No, I'm just saying like these are really high quality ones though.
Yeah.
See? That actually went on really super smooth.
It did.
Surprisingly good. Okay, so now I'm gonna hold this again and verify. You guys see what I'm looking for? I'm looking for straight down the middle. I feel like it needs another. I feel like that's pretty good. Maybe if I use this as my gauge. That's got to be about right. Whatever it is, you want to do the same for the left and the right. I think I went too far. I'm going to go back half. Okay, I got it. So that's what you're going to do for all of these. And then, of course, when you move the ailerons, geez, that's a huge amount of throw. This thing is going to be insane. Okay, so I guess that's pretty much a gist of it. Why don't we pause for the rest of this part, because it's just gonna be the same exact thing. Okay, so just real quick update. We've got the ailerons on, we've got the rudder on, and then this is the elevator. So we're just gonna show you this. On the bottom of this, what you're looking at, that's the bigger side. That's the smaller side. You see that? There's a distinct difference in hole pattern. This is the side you slide into. This is the side you don't slide into. Okay, so I'm just gonna show you what I'm talking about. If you try to do it backward, it will probably break. Okay, so you gotta do it the right way. Okay, now I'm not gonna do it by hand because it like hurts to push them on. Grab by the bolts, and then it'll snap on. Very high quality connection, very nice. Then once you get it connected, on one side you can go ahead and do some of your adjustments too, okay? Then you wanna just sight down the edge and just make sure, like this has too much down elevator. So I need to screw this in a couple, 3 or 4 times. There's 4 times. Getting closer, still not quite there. And then if in doubt, you may have to grab and turn the shaft a few times too, to actually get it to turn into the other side too, if it's just doing one side versus the other. Okay. All right, one more half turn. So you're not gonna be able to do half turns because of that. I just want you to be aware of that. Yeah, we're still not there yet.
Not quite.
It's not really hard to do this. It's just kind of time consuming. And the better you get this, the less mechanical, the less you're going to have to trim it later.
Right.
Looks pretty good, doesn't it?
So might as well do it right the first time.
That's what we always do on Brian Phillips RC. That's why we did the tail wheel the way we did it.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so let's talk about control surfaces. Elevator up, elevator down. Rudder left, rudder right, aileron roll. That's backward. That's incorrect. Okay, so when I push this down, this is gonna come up and go the other way. So we are backward on that control axis. So this is what you do first when you set up one of these AR637 TAs. That was weird. So when I bumped it. Okay, well, let's just assume that was there it goes. Is this one of these stupid timer timeouts?
Why are they doing
Why are
that?
they doing timer timeouts on these? Like, who cares if it sits there for 10 hours? We had that happen on another plane the other day. I hate that feature. It's so stupid.
Weird.
Like, who cares if it's plugged in?
We're working on it.
All right, so anyway. So now what we needed to do is go into Servo Setup. Then we need to rotate the direction of travel on the ailerons. You can also tell they're both going the same direction, which is ironic. So if you reverse, so go to travel, click, and then go to reverse. One of them, see how they're both going wrong? Then you have to go over to the left aileron and also reverse it. So now when I roll this way, down and up and down. Okay, so that's correct, 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 correct. Check all the axis of rotation. Flaperons, they're going up like spoilers. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna come over here, verify everything's the same. I'm gonna click, go down to flap system. And this needs to be minus. So we do like minus 50. And then we'll do like, if you do 100, then you're gonna have no change on one side when you're landing. So I'm gonna do like 85. So there's takeoff flaps, landing flaps. So you still have a little bit of downward movement. So I don't know, I'm almost gonna go a little bit less. I'm gonna go like 35. Let's do 70. Okay. Takeoff flaps. Okay, so just regular flight mode. Takeoff flaps, landing flaps. And it looks like I've got a little bit of a disparity here. You notice this side is up just a hair. I hate it when that happens. When you flip the rotation of your servos, sometimes you get a little bit of a change mechanically, which is a bummer. So I think I need to bring this one out just a hair. So let's deal with that right now. I'm actually gonna flip the plane this way so I can be dealing with it the same direction. And so I want that to come out. So this is gonna kind of suck without ball joint pliers. So I can either pop off here or I can pop off here, okay? Let's see if I can get it off of there. You think I can get it off of there?
I don't know.
I know. If you cringe, it doesn't make it easier on me.
Sorry.
I know, it's cringe-worthy.
Are ball joint pliers really expensive?
No, I just don't want them. One more tool. It's one more tool. Everybody's screaming at their monitors right now.
Yes.
Brian, just get the ball joint pliers. Do it, man. Do it. Do it today. As you can see, it's worked perfectly. So, you know what I'm going to do that's even smarter than that? You know what I'm going to totally do?
Use the wrong tool for the job.
Exactly. No, I'm going to undo this. Yeah. That's going to be just fine. Just fine. I'm just going to back this off. And then that's going to allow me to fix this. I could trim it too, but I don't want to do that. That's the wrong way. This isn't wrong. This isn't wrong. This is just the harder way. Just like I don't want to slip and have it fall down and break the wing.
Yeah.
I'm kind of concentrating here. Don't distract me like you were earlier.
No such thing.
See this? Okay, so now I can just back this off, hypothetically, if it would back off, which it's not. Oh, goodness gracious. Stop screaming at the TV. I can hear you guys. There it goes. Okay, so now I'm going to extend this out by untwisting it. Am I going in? I'm going out. Okay, so that should have got me out a little bit further. I'm gonna slide that back in, and then I'm gonna flip the plane over and just look at it. This is where it's tough because the wing is not like coming to a straight edge anywhere. Oh, man, that is so close. I'm just looking at the way this lines up with the top of the fuse, and it is very, very close. But no cigar, possibly. I don't know. I'm trying to do this totally as right as I can make it. It needs to come out again. One more half turn. I feel like I'm turning it out the right way, but it doesn't seem like it's moving correctly. Okay. So it's all the way out. Ooh, that seems so close, camera crew. I wish I could give these guys such a good shot of this, but I don't know. I think I went too far. I'm gonna go back one whole turn because I can't do a half a turn. Oh yeah, give me a shot right down here. You see what we're doing? You see where we're trying to get this gap exactly the same here? We want that exactly the same. No, you're gonna have to go here. Yeah, like that. I don't know if you guys can tell from that video shot. It's like really, it's kind of challenging. It's not an easy one to line up because if you look on this side, the fuse blocks your view of the other side. So it's not some super hyper specific thing. You can trim out like a couple clicks of trim's not gonna be that big a deal. But you know me, I don't do well with just kind of leaving well good enough.
Good enough alone. Well enough alone. Not whatever you say.
I knew you would fix it. When I say things wrong, my camera crew loves it. It doesn't make her embarrassed at all.
Hey, I'm still here.
So let's.
It's been 17 years. Not getting embarrassed anymore.
Do we have one of those anniversary things coming up?
We do. We'll have one of those anniversary things coming up.
Are you calling me old?
That means we've known each other for like almost 20 years.
We are old. Ooh.
That is a lot of control.
It is. We'll see how it works. It looks like it's gonna be kind of crazy. All right, so now that we have the regular mechanical surfaces, we're gonna pick up our stuff and come right back for radio setup. All right, so we're gonna set up the AR631 for AS3X and the sort. All right, so the way this works is super easy. Basically, you wanna make sure all your surfaces are going in the right way. Up is up, down is down. Yaw left, yaw right. Roll left, roll right. Okay, everything's going in the right direction. And the flaperons are going in the right direction. Everything's going good. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to do a little bit more radio setup. You'll notice that I set the plane on the plane stand so that it's nice and level. I still am not 100% certain if that's critical or if that's just in my head, but the thing is that's what I do. So if it helps, great. If it doesn't help, then we've just all wasted cumulatively millions of hours of time. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into the function list, scroll down to forward programming, then click. It says connecting. It says main menu, gyro settings, other settings. It says after it's connected. So I'm gonna go to gyro settings. It says please stand by. First time setup, stand by. Okay. First time setup is blank. Make sure the model has been configured, including wing type, reversing, travel, trimmed, etc. before continuing. Okay. So now we can scroll to next, from back. First time setup. Any wing type, channel assignment, subtrim, or servo reversing changes require running through initial setup again. Scroll to next. Set the model level and press continue. Continue. Set the model on its nose and press continue. If the orientation on the next screen is wrong, go back and try again. Okay, so now I have to grab the model. Throttle hold is on and tested earlier. I'm gonna set this on its nose. Just in case something goes horribly wrong, if you wanna come around here. I mean, they get the idea about it being on its nose. Then I'm gonna click continue. Orientation 1. Let's check. That looks right. The button is here. The button is there. The nose is there. So everything is lined up right. Close that back up. I can lay this back down where I want it to be, which is basically level. Scroll down to continue. Okay, so now you can go to the gain channel select. So in this case, you have to select a channel where your gains are going to be set. I'm going to set it here. So I'll click that. Looks like gain channel. I'm going to go to the auxiliary 3. And it's already set to the right knob, so that's really easy. I'm going to apply that change. So it's rebooting. Now it says receiver is rebooting. Click for menu. Okay, there's the menu. So now we can walk out and AS3X is working now. So elevator up, elevator down, right or left and right. This is where you verify everything. Roll left, roll right, up, down, left, right. Okay, throttle holds on. No AS3X because I haven't given it throttle. Throttle holds off. That's full throttle. Up, down, up, down. This is where you have to be careful. Throttle hold is on and tested. Looking at the elevator, it's going up, it's going down. Looking at the rudder, it's going left, it's going right. I line up my eye with the vertical stabilizer and you can see it plain as day, but it's extremely hard to film that move. Let's see if I can do it myself. Behold the terrible filming skills. Ah, it's a camera crew! Okay, you see that? See how it moves to the left and it moves to the right? You can see it to the right a lot better. Then when I stop, it stops moving. Move to the right, move to the left, move to the right, move to the left. I've been trying to film that for years.
Well, now we have this little handy-dandy thing.
We've had that the whole time.
Well.
Oh, yeah. That. So there's another trick to doing this, and the trick is this. We set up the master gain here, turn it all the way up. Then you can see the change is greater. It's greater. You can tell that they're moving even better. Wowzers. Uh-oh. Up, 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 down, up, down, up, down, up, down. I look like a moron, but that's okay, because all you have to do is compare the surface, and if you lift this wing, that should go up to counter the input. Yep, it went up and it went down. Sometimes it's easier to see down than up, but these are flapper-ons, so you have to look at both. You can't just look at one side and assume it's right on the other side. It could be wrong on one side and it could be right on the other. Watching for flat, up, down, up, down. Now listen, I want you guys to hear this. Come over here, camera crew. That's the AS3X. Off, all the way up, somewhere in the middle. Okay, I haven't assigned another flight mode, so let's look at that next. Okay, throttle hold is on, but I'm still going to be on the precautionary side and point it there. So click, scroll down to forward programming. Let it load. It takes a second. Gyro settings. Now you've got new menus. You're like, wait, that's different. Oh, yep, it is. AS3X. This is where you can set up your gain sensitivity. So if you went all the way to 4, watch this. You can see it now. Can you see it going up and down? Mm-hmm. Up, down. Now, ailerons, up, down. All the way up. Look at it now.
Yeah.
So that's a good way to check that your surfaces are working, but you wouldn't want to fly that way because it'd be insane.
Yeah.
It would not be good, okay? It would be bad. Bad. Okay? So now you can scroll back down to that and you can change that. This is one of those weird glitchy things. You see how it changes? See how it changes? Like, I didn't change that. I didn't change that. I didn't change that. I didn't change that. But you can still switch it, so.
Be super quick.
Ah, you son of a gun. Ha! Well, one's fine for me anyway. See? Did you see the other settings? 11 milliseconds, 1, all this stuff. I don't even know what those other things mean. So I'm gonna leave it at 1 because I like 1. That seemed about appropriate for me. And then I've got the gain set here. Then there's priority, flight mode 1. Okay, so it's just pulling from the machine what the settings are. You can change those individually. And then the gain. Priority is the priority that the receiver has over me. There's your gains. Roll, pitch, yaw. Okay? So you can go in here and turn it down a little bit, turn it up a little bit, and then the master gain will be relative to what you've changed it to. Okay? So after your first flight, you can make changes there. So now, if we go back a little bit, this is where you can do first time save setup. So we're going to turn on save just because I want to show people how to do it.
7, 6, 5.
Stop talking, lady. Before setting up save, a flight mode channel must be configured. Okay, so it's going to allow me to do it here, flight mode. So I want it on this one. So the flight mode channel is going to be on gear because like I don't have gear on this plane, so I can use this switch. So I'll use switch A. So gear, and it's already set to A, so it's fine. You can change that input later if you want. The only thing I don't like about that is there's only 2 settings. So, but we'll go ahead with it. We'll go with that. That's fine because I still have my master gain here. Before setting up safe, a flight mode channel must be configured. Already did. Continue. Flight mode 1. Select the desired flight mode position to adjust setting for each flight mode. See that? So I'm going to go flight mode 1. AS3X gains must be tuned and active in safe flight modes to help reduce wobble. Okay, fine. Level mode and capture attitude. Level, model, and capture attitude.
Do I need to put it back on?
Not yet. I think I'm just gonna, I think what I want to do is I'm going to use these little blocks to just get it nice and level.
Oh, okay.
Is that pretty good? Not enough, huh? Should be the same here. How about now? That looks pretty darn good, doesn't
That's
it?
pretty good.
Level. Seems like it's about right, but then I want to make sure we don't have it auto leveling into the pavement.
Right.
So I need to, I'll turn this sideways. See if that's better.
That might be a little
That's
better.
probably okay. Let's see if we can do it a little bit more like that. Okay, I like that. That's pretty good. Nice and level. Okay, so level, model, and capture. Nose up, right, left. So it's just pulling the regular limits. Okay, so we can test those next, which we'll show you. You can change the limits. Two times. Receiver's rebooting, click for menu. Okay, so we're back to the regular menu. So now there's gonna be safe and then AS3X, but I gotta just kind of control this, make sure nothing's gonna happen. Okay, so we're still good. So walking back out, remember AS3X only starts after 25% throttle is given, but safe should be working right away. So careful. So obviously safe is off. Throttle holds off. Okay, so we have throttle. AS3X is working. Throttle holds back on. I don't see safe auto leveling, so I wonder if our flight mode's not quite set up totally right yet. So I'm gonna play with that some more. That's good enough for what we're doing. So now I can go back into forward programming, connecting. Takes a second. Gyro settings, AS3X safe settings. Okay, so safe settings, safe gains, fixed auto adjustable gains, capture gyro gains. Let's capture the gyro gains. I don't know. Let's see what happens when I do this and I bring it to the other switch position. So it evidently doesn't have any of the gyro gains.
But how does it actually capture them?
I don't know. Fixed adjustable. Angle limits. I don't care about the angle limits, but it looks like it automatically populated that for us. Okay, that was kind of weird.
If you,
Am I supposed to move it?
well, if you highlight the like pitch and roll or whatever comes up.
Oh, okay. That didn't do anything.
Or wait till it. So if you go to roll. Oh.
Well, maybe I just have to. Okay, gains will be captured. It's not auto leveling anything. So I don't know if this isn't anything to do with. I don't know why it's not doing that. I wonder if I have to make a flight first or something like this. This is where a manual would come in handy. So we have a manual. We just didn't read it. That might have something to do with our problem. We've done this before on AS3X, but just never safe. It's only one extra step. Okay, so we'll look into this for just a second and come right back. Okay, so after reading the manual, I'm slightly less confused, but I don't know the answers. But I remembered something. So in the gyro setting, if you go down to F mode setup, that's your flight mode setup, then you can go in here and you can see AS3X is active in both, but I want one of these to have AS3X safe on, self-leveling, okay? I don't care about panic, I'm not using it. High throttle to pitch, no. Low throttle to pitch, no, not doing it, okay? So now when I'm in this setting, safe is off, AS3X is on, AS3X is on, and safe is also on. Now you can also do envelope, which is like intermediate. Okay, so safe level, so that's auto leveling. So out, back, and then I'm gonna go right back out to regular flight mode. Okay, so they're like regular flight mode, timer's cleared. Elevator up, elevator down, rudder left, right, aileron up, down. Flaps are working. Okay, so now I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna give it a little bit of throttle for AS3X. Okay, so there's throttle holds on. Rudder's moving, elevator's moving, ailerons are moving. I don't know if that's enough, we'll find out. Now we're in safe. So it's trying to find the quickest route. Thank you, camera crew. It's trying to find the quickest route to level. So this would make the plane roll like this until it was level. Now look at the elevator. If it was pitching down, then it would work until it was level. Okay, so now let's see what the limit to the bank angles are. And that's the other way you can test, is you move the stick, like roll, and then look, it'll only allow you to roll so far. Wait, that seems kind of backward. Because it's trying to roll and then it stops rolling. That's the limit to the bank angle. That's the other limit to the bank angle. Now the elevator, that's the limit to the bank angle. And that's the limit to the bank angle. And you can just tell when the control surface stops moving. Okay, that's really cool. Okay, so everything is working there. I'm gonna fly in this mode with AS3X. We'll demonstrate how safe works and we can always change the settings later. So everything is ready to fly on this plane actually. The extra settings for safe were a little bit weird. We did everything right. The only thing we didn't do was just designate within that flight mode switch which one was gonna be AS3X and which one was gonna be safe and AS3X. You could turn off AS3X and have safe only, which I don't know why you would ever do that. But suppose you're flying a thermal ship, meaning you've got like a glider and you're out there and you're flying and you want it to just auto level and then go into some sort of a hold pattern, but you don't want it to undermine, you know, the movement. It'll still auto level, but you want it to get kicked. And that way you can see it from the ground. I suppose you could do that. It'd be really dumb to have safe on and AS3X off, in my opinion. Because AS3X is stabilization and safe is auto leveling or limits to your bank angles. Everything is working here. I think we have plenty of throws at 1X. The manual was suggesting that we might want 2X for a plane like this, but I think it's gonna be too much. If it's not enough, it's very simple. We land it, hopefully we get our, you know, we put our rates to the lowest, we turn this gain all the way up, we get ourselves to the ground, then we turn it to 2X. We repeat the process until we're totally comfortable with it. But my guess is you're gonna get crazy oscillation on this plane if you go to 2X or 4X, because it's just gonna be like a ton of correction. Does that all make sense to you, camera crew, based on what we've done? Okay, so sorry that it was a little clunky on the safe setup. Basically, the safe setup is just like one extra step. I've told that to people online before, and that's basically all it is. You just have to remember to then assign your flight mode. And a lot of times, like if I have a plane with landing gear or retracts, I won't use the A switch for that. I will use my D switch for that. My D switch will be like AS3X only, half the AS3X, so that I have some gain control, and then I would have like safe here. And that's really nice if you use an NX6 because you won't have this knob up here. Okay, so if you're running an NX6, you might want to use that. NX6 has 7 channels. Go figure that out. All right, guys, without further ado, the OMP Hobbies challenge with airplanes. We put some stickers on there too. I don't know if you noticed that. We just wanted to dress it up. Our stickers were dirty, which is totally weird. This thing's been super high quality, and then we had like dirty stickers. Yeah, very weird. So take a clean cloth and wipe off your stickers. I actually trapped a little bit of dirt under mine, which really irritated me. Otherwise, beautiful plane, very good build, very easy build. Just about couldn't believe it. It was so easy. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually whip out this battery and we're gonna get another 2200 that's charged, and camera crew and I are gonna go outside and film a flight for you right now. If you're wanting to buy this thing, you wanna support the channel, first thing you can do is give us a like. That really does help. The algorithm on YouTube preferentially treats videos where there's likes. So if you give us a thumbs up, that helps us. Even if you hated it, give it a thumbs up anyway, please. And then also, don't forget to subscribe. Click the bell for notifications if you want to see new stuff that's coming out. We understand our videos are long, so if you guys have enough time to watch them all, that's great. But really, the reason we do a long video is because you can watch what you want, skip around, do what you got to do. We understand people aren't going to watch these entire videos, most of you. But for those of you who watch the whole video, thank you. It does help us on the algorithm, believe it or not. There's a retention rate, which is important to YouTube. How we're still in business is totally beyond me. We have 100,000 plus subscribers. So obviously somebody likes it or they wouldn't keep us recommended in front of people. So come back for more, but mostly if you want to really help us buy the stuff in the links, we'll link at the very top of the video description to this item, which is the OMP Hobbies Challenger, and there are two colors, so you may see two links. We're gonna have like probably like blue and yellow, and then there's one that's like red
and yellow, I think.
So whichever one you like better, it doesn't matter to us. If you can't find the one you're looking for, we have a master link to all of our different companies we work with just below that, but we're gonna link to the AR631 and the AR637 TA, or T in this case. We'll also link to the NX series. If you need a 6 because you're trying to save 40 bucks, just please do me a favor. Spend the extra 40 bucks, get the NX8. You're gonna get the lanyard, you're gonna get the extra knob, you're gonna get one extra channel, and you're gonna be able to fly a lot of the new stuff coming out. The NX10 is a big jump in price, and most of us are not gonna need the extra 2 channels. So not to say that you shouldn't get the 10. If you think you might need it, get it. But where we are right now, I have a DX18. You wanna know how many times I've used 18 channels? 0. You wanna know how many times I've used 11 channels? 0. You wanna know how many times I've used 10 channels? Once. So, and I've got like hundreds of planes. So at any rate, I would say the NX8 is like 99% of the people out there are gonna be good with this, more than good with this. You're gonna be able to do all the bells and whistles you wanna do. If you got money burning a hole in your pocket, just get the iX20 and forget about all the NX. We have links to that below as well further if you look. But really the big thing is this radio, this battery, this receiver, the AR631, and then of course the plane itself will all be linked right up at the top so you don't have to search for it. If you have questions or you're not able to find what you need, or God forbid you click on a link and it doesn't work, please let me know. I will get them fixed. Occasionally you guys will let me know when links get broken. It's usually not on our end. It's actually what happens is sometimes stuff gets discontinued and they re-release it with like a different receiver, some weird thing like that. I'm not always aware of it because we have thousands and thousands of these links out there. It really does help us if you let us know. But really for now, the biggest request is give us a thumbs up, buy the stuff in the links, and come back for more. YouTube, it's Brad Phillips. We got the OMP Hobby Challenger here. Looks pretty. This is in the blue. They make it in a red too. Got an NX8 running an AR631. We set up safe for once. And AS3X like usual. G2 2230C all the way down to the firewall, and it balances on the CG at 62 millimeters, which is the thickest part of the wing on this one, perfectly. And we did no flap correction on our flaperons. We've got a nice calm day. Show them the wind sock so they see. Yep, exactly. All right, so stabilization is set to the middle. Throttle cut is off. Good ground handling, really. It's a pretty plane. It's a little bit different from what we're used to doing. We're gonna see how great this works right now. Are you ready, camera crew? Holy crap, that thing gets in the air quick. Okay, out of the flaps. Nice performance, very simple, okay, safe. That is so cool. Look at this, not even looking, not even looking, not even looking. Limited bank angles. Boy, that snaps back really quick. Wow, that is really good response. Really good response, guys. Really good response. Jeez, look at how fast it goes. I think it might be a little bit much, but that's okay. I don't know if the S3X gains will change the snappiness, but you know what? I'm gonna come out of safe here. Let's go ahead and fly it. Oh my goodness, that thing is insane. Wowzers. Okay, I'm gonna go to the rates, the highest rates, just so we can kind of relax it. By the way, it is not calm right now. It is quite, that was a joke earlier about how calm it was. I'm at 50% throttle here. This thing is just really solid. It is super easy to fly. I'm about 30% throttle here. It's just cruising along, like just taking its time. Like, hey, look at this. Look at me. Look at me. There we go. I'm just gonna land. Not much prop clearance. Oh my goodness. My roll rates are insanity. Oh my goodness, that's 75% rates too. You've got to be kidding me. But this thing is just like flawless. I had 25% throttle. I feel like it's a complete 3D plane here. There's our full throttle. Plenty of power. A little bit on the pitch sensitive side here. Let's try takeoff flaps and now landing flaps. You gotta be kidding me. Look at that thing. It's just insanity, guys. This thing's like crazy. Okay, out of the flaps altogether. There we go. We're gonna actually do some things with it. A little bit too much stabilizer here. We got that cut down to about 30% on the control axis for that master gain, which is our auxiliary 3. Is that a cat next to us? Okay, we'll just land this thing right now. Guys, this thing is like rock solid, okay? Rock solid. But it's also kind of insane amounts of throw, okay? So I just have to show you this. Okay, so I'm gonna go to dual rates and expo. Look at what we're at, 75% rates with the expo at 20. The thing is rock solid, and look at that windsock. It's just going around all over the place. Yeah. Okay, I didn't feel like we need any correction, but I just feel like we need a lot more expo. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and throttle holds on, so we should be good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and set expo to, like in the top setting, let's go to 40. And then let's drop this down to like 65. And then let's take this from 100 down to like, let's go to like 80. And let's put the expo to like 20. And then on the top setting, let's make this our crazy setting. Okay. Then we'll do the same thing here. Crazy setting is 0. This setting is 20. Rates down to 80. In the top setting, we'll go to like 60. Is that what we did? 60, and we'll double this to 40. So basically what we're doing is we're just taming this airplane in the top setting. We're gonna set that to 40. We'll bring the rates down to 60. Then in the middle flight setting, the one we're actually gonna use, we'll set the expo to 20, and then we'll set the rate to 80. And then in the top setting, the crazy setting, we'll actually go to 0. Okay, so throttle hold is still on. This is supposed to be a 5-minute flight timer, but like we haven't even been in the throttle, so I'm at 1 minute from my timer. I'm just gonna put it back on the runway. One thing to keep in mind, there ain't much prop clearance on this thing. So if you're gonna fly from grass, you may need to put a smaller prop on it. Okay, so we're going away from the wind right now. We have a cat that's kind of like hanging out at our feet, which is something we're used to. Okay, take off flaps here. Okay, here we go in our, oh yeah, a lot more tame, a lot more relaxing to fly out of the takeoff flaps. A little bit of trim on the rudder finally. There we go. That's at 80%, guys. Look at that thing roll like crazy. I'm out of the throttle altogether and safe. Oh man, that thing is so, it's like immediately auto levels. That is awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna just use the rudder. I'm gonna use the rudder to try to land it here, okay? I'm just using the rudder, folks. Just gonna kind of glide it over here, just using the rudder. Not really doing much of anything. Oh, some takeoff flaps. Just to slow it down, out of the takeoff flaps. Okay, takeoff flaps. Look at this, guys, we're not even using anything. I'm just using the rudder. Oh my goodness. Oh, you know, that was so cool. All I did was use the rudder from there to there, and I put the takeoff flaps on twice to slow it down a little bit so it would touch down. Evidently the safe works good on this. So yeah. Really happy with that. That was about an extra of what, like two steps? Yeah. Granted, it took us like 10 minutes because we were confused and no nothings. All right, we're gonna try again, but I gotta get it out of the grass again.
If you were on really really short, nice manicured grass. Still probably not.
It's just really tight.
Yeah.
Okay, with the wind, just to show you can be done. I'm out of safe now, folks. That's 30% throttle, guys. This thing just loves to fly. It just does exactly what you want it to, when you want it to. Look how simple it is to fly, guys. It's easy to fly. Did you see those birds? They were just attacking each other. Again, it just takes almost no energy to do this stuff, folks. That is awesome. Cornhole.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that just insanity?
That is crazy.
Okay, safe. I don't even know what direction I'm going now. Guys, I'm out of safe again, by the way. Okay, so full landing flaps. Oh, just a little bit of balloon there, I'm noticing. Okay. You know, this plane might actually be calling for a little bit of elevator correction. Maybe like 10% elevator correction.
It is really windy though, too.
Guys, it's super windy. It's like incredibly windy. That's why this plane is like insanely cool. It's not hard at all to fly. It's just like super predictable. You know exactly what it's going to do. Like that. It's just incredible. Guys, I'm loving this plane. It's like, 3D is not my thing, but look at this, guys. It's like, okay, inside loops. Yeah, we do that too. Yeah, we do that too. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna go to my insane mode. Okay, here's insane mode. It's so crazy. Okay, you'll notice I'm a few mistakes high. This is with no expo. What a ragdoll. That is so awesome. My insane mode meaning 100% throws and no expo. Okay, here we go. What is going on up there? It's just crazy. Cornholes are insane. Okay, now I'm going to my relaxed mode where I actually have everything down and it flies a little bit more like, you know, like the run-of-the-mill plane, maybe like a timber or something like that. Okay, we're gonna try a takeoff flap here. I'm gonna go ahead and mix in a little bit of down elevator correction here. Ooh. Okay, out of that. Getting out of the crazy mode, excuse me, the relaxed mode. I did not have enough authority to make up for the wind that was coming into my face. Okay, so no flaps this time. We're just gonna bring it in as though we're trying to land at speed, which of course this thing will fly about 1 mile an hour. That is ridiculous. Okay, throttle holds on snapping so you can see this. Hopefully you can see this. Good angle.
I think so.
Okay, flap system. Let's do 6% and then 10%. Let's see if this is going the right direction real quick. Yep, it's going the right direction, so that's going to go down. So that should help with the ballooning. I would totally do this off grass if we had short enough grass, but I can tell you right now, it's going to hit the grass and it's going to slow things down. And I don't want to be misrepresented of the way it's going to be for you guys. Okay, here we go. Take off flaps. Oh yeah, beautiful. There's landing flaps. A little teeny tiny bit of balloon. See the balloon still? I've got to push it down and then it comes back up. Okay, so we got to get, instead of 10, let's do 4. Let's see if we can land it here. Boy, the SRX is just rocking on this thing. Take off flaps this time. Just bring it in with a little bit of nose down attitude. It's just so simple. It's so weird. I'm not used to planes being so easy to fly. All right, so let's go. Let's do 15 and 8. Okay, so let's try this. Oh yeah. Full landing flaps. Oh yeah, liking it. A little bit too much. Okay, so we need to go 15 down to like 14 or so. Are you doing okay, camera crew?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, full landing flaps. Ooh, a little bit of asymmetry there. Did you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Could have just been the way the wind was hitting us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that, by the way, that last second correction was a means to an end, okay? It wasn't very pretty, but let's do 7 and 13. All right, guys, I got to show you what it's going to do with this grass. See, you can hear it.
Mm-hmm.
It's cutting the grass, folks. But man, this thing flies good. up in the air. And like I said, it is not calm right now at all. Not even close. Really fun to fly though. Very different. Definitely not what we're used to around here. We're more into the scale planes, but boy, if you get a good power to weight ratio on a balsa wood plane, wow, we got some crazy turbulence coming over the top of the house that time.
Yep.
Did you see our hunter over there?
Yeah.
Show them the hunter.
Out stalking.
So guys, in closing, and when I say closing, like I'm at 6 minutes 30 seconds over the 5, so that means 11 minutes and a half. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the XBC battery checker out, and we are going to check the voltage right now so you can see how much we burn through. I am incredibly impressed with this plane.
Yeah,
I mean, I had no idea what to expect. The thing went together like a daydream.
Yep.
It's like by far the easiest plane we've built for OMP. Actually, this might have been easier than the other OMP hobby planes we've done in the past.
It was super easy.
And this was for BitGo Hobby, so we'll go ahead and link to that for you. All right, so smart battery. And we're at 30%, folks. So we got a 10-minute flight, not really even pushing it. I would say that's a conservative. Got super strong magnets. There's a top to get down to the receiver, and of course the type for the top of the battery. Everything's ball link, carbon fiber, balsa. Really high quality, guys. This plane is a winner. If you even remotely like the style of this plane, you should just go ahead and get it. Camera crew has a thought.
Are people are gonna ask, is it a second plane, third plane?
Oh, this is not a first plane.
Not a first.
It might be easy to fly for me, but the trouble is, I don't know. If you set the rates high enough, it'd be okay.
Well, I mean, definitely not first. It's too fast. You can get yourself in trouble.
Yeah, I know, but power saves lives.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, honestly, this is not a first plane. If you guys really want a balsa wood plane, maybe. But the thing is, you're going to want to set your rates way lower than what I did. Because I don't know if you guys could see how it got out of control so quick. All I had to do was flip a switch, and it was level. Like, instantly, right now, it's level. Also, the priority on that might be a little bit too high for safe. And I could turn that down a little bit, and it would maybe not be quite so like... you know, right now it would be more like, okay, here you go. So that might make it look better, but to be perfectly honest, in this environment, when I use safe on a plane, I don't need safe, but safe is kind of fun when you're getting like insanely crazy and all of a sudden you're like, I have no clue what way up is, or left, or forward, or backward. It's not just so much that you lose orientation of, you know, like what up is. It's, you don't know if it's going that way or if it's coming this way. And it's strange. That optical illusion is really easy to get into. And as you become a better pilot, you get into situations like that a little bit less frequent, but they still happen. So, and sometimes it's like when you're doing crazy cornholes and things like this, it's really easy to like forget what direction you're going. So I would love to admit that that's not a thing, but it is a thing still, even for us when you've got 5 or 6 years in. So really good plane. Definitely follow the link in the description below. Give us a like. Helps us with the algorithm on YouTube. These longer videos, we get a little bit punished by YouTube on that because the retention rate's poor. But we do the long videos so that you guys can follow along. And you could set yours up exactly the way we set ours up. Also, just keep in mind that windsock is almost straight out. It's been out all the way. It's been pointed up a little bit all during this flight. This is a true maiden flight today. And I think it went super smooth. This is a cool plane. You deserve one. Just get it. It's really good. Look how nice this covering film is. It's just like perfect all throughout the plane. Everything is tight and crisp, good closed. You know, everywhere that this lines up, check this out, guys. Look how nice all the lines line up. This wing comes off, by the way. You can take this off. It's got 2 wing nuts here. I mean, it's just a really well done plane. Everything about it, I like it. It's very, very well done. The only thing I would like better is if it was a scale plane, because I do like scale planes a little bit better. But that's a preference thing. This thing flies great. It looks great. It's really well done. It's not overly expensive either. And even if you outfit it with a nice Spectrum receiver, you're still going to be sub $300 with battery and everything. So definitely check it out. Come back for more and stick around for the build, unbox build, and radio setup right after this. YouTube is Brian Phillips. We've got the OMP Hobbies Challenger. Dico Hobby sent this out. Check the link in the description below. We're running the AR631 right there. It's all set up with safe. And we're running a Gen 2 2200 3S pack, which you'll be amazed how powerful this thing is on 3S. Without further ado, we go with internet only. First, take off flaps, landing flap setup with a little bit of correction for both. Take off. Look how easy that is. As mentioned earlier, have safe. That's 100% throttle. Look at this. It's like insanity. And safe. Might be a little bit exciting. And a little bit of rudder there. Take off flaps deployed just to see if we can bring it. A little bit of throttle. Again, we're saying it's windy. Hopefully the audio quality. That is awesome. Okay, so I would say here we go. Little cornhole there for you. This thing just does everything so insanely. Look how crazy it is, guys. Upside down, right side up. Like it's really cool. That's the motor at 80% rates. Okay, so, but you see it tames down. Like I'm in S3X only right now. And it just flies super good. It flies super good. Like, let's just do a circuit and pretend like we're not trying to be insane people. Okay? So we'll just fly around here. About 50% throttle. It's a little bit too much, but. Okay, so there we go. Nice tight quarters. Let's see a low pass, maybe a touch and go for lucky. Probably doesn't touch and go very good because the nature of the landing gear is pretty much straightforward. So now full pass. I mean, what type of performance do you expect to get out of a 2200 3S? It's just incredible. I mean, what direction are we going? It's just a super cool plane. I had no idea what to expect. The build went super fantastic. It was just a super easy build. Really fun to fly. It's like a 3D great flying sport plane trainer hybrid sort of thing. I just don't know what to think on this thing. Like, what do you call this thing? It just does it all, and it does it really good, and it's balsam. So it's gonna be one of those that you have for a while until you don't. Safe. Woo! Not safe. That was a little close to the power line. It just makes everything so good, and it's not exactly perfect conditions right now. So if you're looking for a plane that will do everything you tell it to, and then some, look no further than the Challenger. This is a plug-in flight configuration, and I don't know if I would do it in color for sure. But it's like, look at the insane changes in direction that you can do with this thing. It's just insanity. And then safe. Rudder. It's still that's awesome. With no throttle. Full landing flaps here. We have flaps on let's do some bull flying for a minute. Just show you how tame it can be. You don't have to fly it like you stole it, okay? I mean, you can pick up flaps, also known as flaperons in this case, but it's a full-length wing, so it's actually quite reasonable. It does great, really controllable. And by the way, it is not calm down here. I don't know if you can tell from the video footage, but I can tell you right now it is not calm. I mean, I just don't know what else to say, but it went together super well. It's easy to fly. It will do everything you want to do. Upside down flight performance. I'll show you the upside down flight performance with flaperons, which is always weird. Okay, out of the flaperons though, that's kind of strange. Flaps here. One thing that is definitely true about this plane that's not great is the ground clearance on the prop is not very good. Again, not a problem, it's just something you need to be aware of. You can see right there, we'd be whacking the grass like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, our timer's at 1:42 past. We get about 10 minutes on this, not 5. The OMP instructions suggested 5 to 10 minutes, so that's about right. I would say like 8 minutes if you're really pushing it hard. Just look how gorgeous that takeoff was, guys. It's not like you have to be flying, you know, like you're an insane person from the insane asylum, you know? You can just fly it like a plane. But if you want to do the insane asylum, that stuff can happen too. I would say that this plane is something along the lines of like the ultimate 3D for performance. And since it's so light on its feet, it's just a really good flying experience. It's very easy. It does everything you want it to. The only thing I don't like about it is that it's not a scale plane, but I love that it's a balsa wood plane, because balsa built up planes are just solid. They just hold their shape. They don't deflect the wings. And if they're done right, they look gorgeous. And I would say that this is done right. I don't know who covered it, but they did a really nice job. Just look how pretty it is, folks. It's not like I'm going by at 100 miles an hour here either. But it will go fast. It will go slow. And it'll be powerful enough to get you out of hot water too. You see that? I would call that vertical. Out of the throttle. And up again. Even with a full roll rate, it just does. And by the way, that's 80% roll rate. I'm not even in my crazy setting. Let's do a no flap landing if we can get it. We'll go forever. Okay. By the way, if you're looking for a way to slow this down, and you don't want to use flaperons, you can slip the plane quite a bit. It should look pretty good. I'll show you a little bit here. Okay, so coming in, base leg, getting out of the base leg, see me tipping the wing tip down. That's the way you can get it to the ground and slow it down quite a bit, real quick. I would say that we are probably about out of juice here. Okay. So guys, without further ado, hopefully the audio quality is better on this video. Sorry, camera crew, I gotta go around. My apologies on that one, folks.
Do my best. fast.
So what we did earlier is we filmed this and it was so windy that we think we lost. We had something going on with the camera, so we had to refilm it. It was so terrible. So here we go. Here's the landing loving this plane. It's a really good plane. It was constructed. Throttle hold tested. I'm impressed too. This thing is great. I want you guys to stick around. I want you to see the build, the radio setup. We did set up safe. I have safe assigned here. So as you can see, trying to find the quickest route to level. And then if you check the elevator, you can see the elevator correctly. So out of safe, AS3X is working, and we have our settings. I just feel like it's dialed in nicely. It does everything you want it to do. It's rock solid. I mean, it's got good carbon fiber spars. Everything in here is what you want in a plane. To be honest, you can take the whole thing apart. With the exception of maybe the tail, I wouldn't want to have to take the tail apart. But you can take these two wings off super easy. There's one nut here, or one bolt here on either side, and then the carbon fiber spar, and you're ready to rock and roll. This thing comes apart. It'll go down into a really tight spot. Any thoughts, camera crew? Stick around for the build. It's coming right after this. Don't forget to check the links in the description below. You can help support us by buying from those links. Also, if you give us a like, we appreciate it very much. Guys, we just hit 100,000. We're honored to be here. You put us here. Thank you. Come back for more.